I bring greetings anywhere you are watching us from, anywhere you are seeing me from. I greet you in the name of Chukwokikeo. I greet you. We move. We must continue to do the needful. Hey, audio. So many things that happen, so many things that go on, so many things that happen, so many things they go on. So this video on Nnamdi Kanu, this video about Nnamdi Kanu and the US is what I want us to look into. Really, US government report on Nnamdi Kanu rendition. Interpol denied this, that, all long video for almost 5 hours. We will listen to this video calmly, calmly, calmly. I want to make you cool your temper as you watch this video with me, because many, plenty analytic, analyzation, analysticization, explanation, coalization, understandization, they inside this video. So, but you have to cool down and watch, because it's a very long video. We will watch, and then don't forget to say your opinion as you are watching. We must continue to do what we do. We don't owe anybody any apology. The day we begin to think we owe somebody apology, that day our own don't finish. Unless we get Biafra. If we get Biafra now, Biafra don't land. They come back on me say, oh boy, bro, you be offend me, oh, you offend me. I go ask you what you tell me that time when you the talk, you insult me bad. I go tell you sorry. But for now, I don't owe anybody any apology. I dey tell you the truth. I don't owe anybody any apology. If you owe anybody any apology, if you go apologize to that person, but for me, I never see anything with me I owe anybody. Now everybody owe me apology. Nigeria, they owe me apology. Britain, they owe me apology. Ndi Zama, they owe me apology. Uchechi Kalu, they owe me apology. China Saworu, Ikenguru, I don't know whether it's someone they owe me, but they don't be say I go accept them, eh? Sometimes she know say sometimes she go forgive person, but they go tell her make it waka. Now so many people when they owe me apology go apologize, but you go tell them may they find their level. Kanu, I don't know wetin be people's mind or thought where Kanu dey. Because me, I no understand why somebody go dey contribute money now. They give Kanu. Why somebody at this time, at this age, go dey contribute money, go dey give Kanu? Let me I no understand though, because this thing dey confuse me. It dey confuse me honestly. It dey confuse me. The money wey you dey give am, wetin you want make it take am dey do? The money wey you dey give Kanu, wetin make it take am dey do? Make it dey take am dey cook pot of soup? The money wey you dey give China Saworu with Shike, they say wetin you want me they take the money they do? Okay, the person you where they support these people, you they give them this money, make they take and they raise they sponsor little children in the name of IPOB Eastern Security. They go come out to Nigerian Security Agency, go finish all of them, not all of them for road. Anybody where they sponsor Shina Sanworu, Shike, Dozier, Kanu, all of them, that person is sponsoring terrorism. And they tell you the truth. Because the money, they are not using it for freedom. Listen, me, I don't care whether you, if you want fight for Biafra in your own way, no problem. But when you want to come, they do evil. See all the bad things which in us and what do they do? Somebody see they get mind, they carry money, they give them. Kanu be say, I don't see anything where they do. You know they join bad people, you know they join good people. You just collect the contribution money, they show. Go Nigeria, go see your brother, you know go. What you they do, make your brother come out? Nothing. All the way go. Well, I greet you, Biafrans, anywhere you they watch me from, anywhere you they see me from. Try and like this video, and just like this video. I beg you, just try and like the video. We continue. Excuse me. We continue. You know, today, like you may have known, today our leader, our prime minister, I mean to say, um, Obado Obie, history has been made again that Nigeria have recognized him to be the prime minister, and they have recognized they have come to agree that we are now Biafra Republic government in exile. This is Vanguard News. Vanguard News. You can see this is just a portion of the publication with me. I just come put for here. He say, however, Biafra Republic government in exile Prime Minister Simon Egba, who noted, this is just, I want everybody to understand, they have come to understand the truth. And if you watch for very long time, if not more than a year now, no more anything like a more powerful. You don't hear Rufai, yeah. You don't hear Rufai, Oseni, or Abati, Ruben, or anymore coming to tell you, but a Marufa, a more powerful have spoken. He is a publicity. Those things have died. They died away more than 1 year ago. They are coming to the terms now that the truth is that Biafra is now on top. They go confess that Biafra army is the one responsible to whatever has been happening to them. They go confirm. They go agree. And they no get choice. They go agree. We must continue. We move. So this very evening, like I told you, we are going to be watching this program. Is a nice one, nice combination. So let's go.
Okay. Today we have on the screen on our analyst session, we have Starman, we have Royce, and my humble self, World Greatest. We welcome you all to today's program. Today's program, we're going to be focusing specifically on, we're going to touch other topic, but we're going to really center on this U.S. report and Nnamdi Kanu's case.
May una no verse for me, eh? May no verse for me. Biafrans, I greet everybody with the line this evening. I see Nolene on the comment section. I see Nolene from the comment section first too. So I greet you. Shoma, Shima Rechuku. I greet you, my dear brother pastor. Kuroma Chel. Kuroma. I don't know, but I see Gel. I greet you. Thank you. You say hit the like button and share. That is why I want you to know that you are the one I'm calling. So the name there is difficult for my mouth. Neolene, I greet you, and Evaristus, Obiagalanwa, and Ike Nelson, Edwin Naso Zukunas Ndewo, I greet you. Friday Peters Ndewo. So let's continue. And those of us that are not in the comment section, with love and respect to everybody, just relax and watch this program. You go like them. In short, you go love them. In short, you go thank me. In short, you go love me after watching this program. Let's go.
So we're going to go through some videos and all that. But before we proceed, I would like the presenters, Starman, Royce, you guys have anything to say to our viewers? You can go on before we proceed. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. To all Biafrans and lovers of freedom, welcome to this program on this day. Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
Royce. You
mo-
there?
yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening from. Um, Biafrans will welcome you once more to this our program, and we hope you're gonna enjoy listening to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we welcome our listeners. Thank you, and welcome to this space. First of all, there was a report that came up by the U.S. government regarding the kidnapping. I'm going to use the word kidnapping, so of our leader Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, and the report indicates that the Nigerian government acted with impunity, and they also um, did not allow our leader his human right. So I'm actually trying to see if I can pull it up, the article, but let me see here. I still have it. Okay. So this is the article. No, sorry, this is about Nigeria election. My bad. Let me remove this. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that at all. But actually, I guess most of you might have seen the article. But if you haven't, please try and go Google the article. It's going to be U.S. report on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. As the program proceeds, I'm going to try my best and look for the article and put it on the screen for you guys to see. Welcome once again. We have 24 listeners and viewers. We say welcome to you guys also. I'm going to play a couple of video, and I would want the analyst on the screen to analyze. First of all, let's go to. We all know Mazda Mikano was rendition, was kidnapped in Kenya, and I'm first of all going to play this video.
Of one.
So this video is actually this man you see on the screen is actually the former ambassador of Kenya to Nigeria, and but he's late now. So I want you to listen carefully to this man and see how he's going to deny. Now let me go.
Nnamdi Kanu. I want to address this allegation by denying that Kenya was involved in the alleged arrest in Kenya and extradition to Nigeria of Mr. Kanu. And I repeat, I want to address this allegation by denying that Kenya was involved in the alleged arrest in Kenya and extradition to Nigeria of Mr. Kanu. To us, therefore, these allegations are fictional, imaginary, and deliberately concocted to fuel antagonistic feelings amongst certain sections of the Nigerian people against the Kenyan people. And indeed, many countries have been accused. Rwanda, Czech Republic, Britain, Ethiopia, and God knows which other countries. I want to challenge anyone with the facts relating to this alleged arrest in Kenya to present these facts. This will include when, how, and who was particularly involved in the alleged arrest. And in any case, I believe we are all Nigerians. Nigeria is a sovereign country. It's your country. Instead of facing the Kenyan High Commission to Nigeria to ask some of these questions, you should face your own government. The government of Nigeria knows how they arrested, maybe in Nigeria, and took Kanu to court. They have the answers, not me. We are also disturbed, dismayed, and astonished by the unfortunate statement on this alleged arrest in Kenya, which was carried in the Nation newspaper today. The government of Kenya is particularly appalled by these spurious, derogatory, libelous mention of the name of our dear president in this matter, as has been reported in the Nation, dated 2nd July 2021. It's unfortunate.
A lot has happened to the leader of the indigenous people.
All right, thank you very much right there. Starman, Royce, I want us to talk about this for a minute before we proceed. Do you understand his denial? Did you see his denial? It seems like he was reading a script handed down to him. So my question to him, what do you think made this man to come out and deny it without having his complete information, maybe, or allegedly thinking the truth will not come out? So what do you think, and why do you think this man came out so boldly to deny the kidnapping in Kenya?
I think he has the backing of the Kenya government. Nigeria, in conjunction with the Kenya government, did this whole thing. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, I believe Nigeria didn't just go to Kenya to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu without informing Kenya government. So Kenya coming out to say, to deny that, they don't know how Nnamdi Kanu got to Nigeria. That's just some scripted lies. I believe, and I know very well that the Kenya government is very aware of it. They are very aware of what happened to Nnamdi Kanu. They are just saying this to please their viewers and their audience. I mean, that's how I see it. Until Nnamdi Kanu comes out, then we'll know what really transpired.
And also during the period where there was a whole lot of pushback, the man died. So that should be put out there too. Starman, you have anything to say regarding that video before we move forward? Okay, I'll move forward. Yes.
Yeah. See, you don't just move people from country to country without the countries knowing. Especially in this case, it was not a military operation that Nigeria did to go and remove him. They used a private jet. Even with a private jet, they have to declare what and what is and who is on that private jet. So, bearing in mind that Kenya is still a British neo-colonialist entity. I mean, Britain still runs a military operation in Kenya, northern Nairobi, a military camp where they train British soldiers. So we know that these neo-colonialists, they still use their old colonies as puppets. So being a neo-colonial contraption itself, Kenya, first things first, MI5, MI6, they've always been watching Nnamdi Kanu. They knew when he got on the plane, they knew where he was going. They informed the Nigerian government and the Kenyan government. obviously, all this is in conjunction. This is a long chain of espionage, starting from Britain to DOS, those IPOB Nigeria clowns. This whole thing is orchestrated. In this chain, you include Southeast governors or Hanese, all of them, they're all in the chain. They knew Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's movements, and MI5, MI6 would have informed their Nigerian counterparts, their Kenyan counterparts, and they orchestrated the whole thing. Of course, Kenya will come and deny it, especially with the way you can see they made some try and effort. They made some effort to try and give Kenya plausible deniability. And that's what gave this guy the backing to come and talk the crap he just spewed. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
I think that guy is the ambassador to.
He was the
Nigeria,
former
right?
ambassador to
But he died, right?
Yeah, he died. So that's why I asked you: do you think his death was suspicious or is just a coincidence?
It
Nothing
might
happened
be.
because
It might.
because-
It might be suspicious because I think he was sick. It's what I heard. He was sick for a while before he died. Might be. Anything is possible with Nigeria.
yeah. So also they said Malefia Obadia was sick. So if you see the screen right there, right, it says how federal government worked with Interpol to arrest IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, right? This is Vanguard. I was trying to look for the video where Malami was doing the press conference when he made that statement that they actually worked with the Interpol. Now let me play this video for you.
Nigeria working is quite. AIG, there are not a few who believe that the pace at which the Interpol International and Interpol Nigeria are working is quite interesting. They point to the fact that Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed group, IPOB, he didn't take long for them to grab him from the same Kenya and get him down to Nigeria, and he's facing justice now. That's why is this like a case of we're following process, diplomatic channels, etc., etc.
Please, I'd like you guys to comment on what this brown envelope journalist just said, please, before we proceed. And before any of you proceed, let me say hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Before you proceed, let me talk to our viewers. We have over 107 viewers at the moment live. We welcome you to the show. Thank you all for being here. There is a link. If you're watching from YouTube, there is a link that you can click, and that link will bring you on to the screen if you have any conversation, any contribution to make, whether to contribute or to disagree. Even if you're a Nigerian government, you want to come here and clear yourself, you're welcome to click on the link, and we'll have you on, and we'll have this conversation. So please, you guys, just react on that statement. If you want me to play it again, I can do that one more time. Let me play it one more time.
AIG, there are not a few who believe that the pace at which the Interpol International and Interpol Nigeria are working is quite interesting. They point to the fact that Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed group, IPOB, he didn't take long for them to grab him from the same Kenya and get him down to Nigeria, and he's facing justice now. That's why is this like a case of we're following process, diplomatic channels, etc., etc.
Believe you me, I want to tell you I don't know what you are talking about. All I know.
All right. Can you guys go ahead and comment, please?
Yeah, if you notice what the guy said, he said grab him from Kenya, and he didn't want to go into details. Even the presenter himself, he kind of understand that Nigeria didn't go through due process in handling Mazen and the Kanu's case, So that's why he's trying to find out what's happening with this Binance guy, And the man obviously told him that Interpol is not aware of Nnamdi Kanu's
But you see,
case.
the part that really got me really crazy is the way the journalist himself was just so relaxed and boisterously with impunity, saying if we could grab Nnamdi Kanu, why are we going through process with this Binance guy? So for a journalist, do you think that is journalism or that is just propaganda they do right there? And this is AIT. This is not even TVC now. This is AIT.
I mean, for me, I feel that's the that's the average Nigerian journalist. That's how they behave. It's not peculiar to just that journalist. Almost all of them are the same when it comes to the issue of Biafra or issue of Mazin Nabikanu. They are all the same. You see this resentment, this, I don't know, as if Nigeria is giving them this authority to say anything or do anything without any proper uh, law and order following it. So that's how I see it. Unfortunately, the man told him that, look, Interpol doesn't know what's happening with Mazin and the Kanu. And I believe when the man was saying that, he forgot that Nigerian government said that they worked with it. And if the man knew that Nigerian government have initially hinted that they worked with Interpol, he wouldn't have said what he said.
Before Starman will come in, is this the first time Interpol is denying ever working with the Nigerian government? Because I've not seen it anywhere with it denied.
In this particular case, yes. Because the Nigerian government has always buttressed that fact that they worked with Interpol to bring back Mazin and the Kanu. You understand? I'm very.
I want us to remember not only the Nigerian government, Malami himself, Malami said it, boosted that Interpol, and that very day I laughed and said, which Interpol? They kidnapped Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Because Interpol don't do anything will be secret. They know they do them. It's not Interpol. So ever since then, I don't know where this man resurfaced from. Probably he is either resigned or about to resign. Because whenever you see them resign is when they will come out to start talking. You remember Dele, not Dele, I've forgotten the other guy's name, the former DSS boss. All of them, both the ones that speaks from America, they are speaking only when they are not in power. Because if they that open mouth while in power, they are gone. Only when they are not in power. So when they speak, it will be as if when you are in power, when you were in power, why didn't you say it if it is true? So that is Nigeria for you. If you watch all of them everywhere, except all over the world, go and watch the CIA officer that implanted cancer in the Bob Marley shoe. He confessed that he pretended he took the shoe because these people they know everything. Bob Marley ordered their canvas and he took the canvas, planted the cancer, and he took it personally to Bob Marley himself to make sure it got to Bob Marley. He went to Bob Marley, took the canvas to him as a sales agent. You know, when you buy things online, they will bring it to your house. So he pretend to be the sales manager or whatever representative to took it to his house to make sure Bob Marley gets it. And Bob Marley tested it before him. And as he shook leg inside, he don't carry up. So many things. But nobody go look. Bob Marley don't die. The deed has been done. So now this man is talking. After 3 years, you are coming out to tell us that the Interpol don't know anything about the kidnap of Mazen Nnamdi because Interpol will not kidnap anybody. Fulani people and the so-called, what is his name? The one that claimed he went to see Ifeanyi Uba in Nigeria. The woman that said she went to Nigeria to visit Ifeanyi Uba, who facilitated her going to Nigeria to see her, to see Ifeanyi Ejiofor and Ifeanyi Uba. Shameless people everywhere. Shameless everywhere. They don't get one single common respectful shame. They don't get their own shame. That shame will not get respect. You know, say some people like this, when they want get shame, they go get shame, will get respect. But these people, they don't get shame, will get respect. Their own shame no get respect. He go Nigeria, they snap picture with the enemies of his husband. All of them is snap picture with them. Snapping picture with Ifeanyi Uba, this, that, anybody where pass road is snap picture with them. Your husband warned you that this Ifeanyi Uba, I have nothing with him. He's a wicked criminal. Now you are smiling. Yeah. Look at your teeth. You want to give your husband the kiss of death. You know the sheep. Come the open mouth and talk am on the street.
Pretty sure that this man forgot about that part. He skipped that part. You know, when the whole country is based on lie and fraud, you see how the whole thing goes. That's why the man couldn't defend Nigeria at that point. And then he said, "Look, Interpol didn't work with Nigeria to get Nnamdi Kanu, and he didn't even know how they got Nnamdi Kanu, and he was trying to say, oh, there might be some sort of police talk between countries. They might bypass Interpol." I was like, nah.
He was trying to dress his reason.
Yes.
We're going to get to that. We're going to allow our viewers listening to that part, right? But let's allow Starman just analyze this brand envelope media for a minute. We're going to go deep into that part. We'll allow him finish. Starman, you there?
Yeah. You see, Zoom media. Look at the language he used. In fact, not and this is just one of many instances. This is how they talk. This is how they behave. Why don't you just go and grab him, like you grabbed Nnamdi? You see, I always talk about this thing I call the Alamajirization of Nigeria. And you see these journalists. You see how the political class is now full of thugs and agberos and just criminals. The only reason you are still seeing this level of journalists crap, even though it's crap, is because these ones can still speak English. Soon you'll be seeing the journalists that can't speak English that will just come and tell you anything on TV, and there's nothing you'll be able to do about it. So I mean, the whole thing is so unprofessional. We're talking of Nigeria Interpol here. Just because they are Interpol, let's not forget there's Nigeria mixed in with the Interpol. You cannot just be looking at the Interpol and forget the corruption that comes with Nigeria mixed in with that Interpol. Interpol Nigeria was, so if they weren't aware of the kidnap or whatever happened between Nigeria and Kenya, so what's their role? What's their use? So the difference between this Binance guy and Nnamdi Kanu is that Nnamdi Kanu is treading on toes of Ndijiwa. That's the people that call themselves global hegemons. That is their right to control this world. So it's a real big deal, at least compared to this Binance guy, who I think his sphere of influence is at least within Nigeria. And he's meddling. Just meddling with, the plans of the ones that see themselves as Nigeria as their own. So
the difference between this Nnamdi Kanu and the Binance guy is like walking from earth to the sky, which is impossible. You cannot reconcile the two, because the Binance girl or finance guy is a guy that Funani themselves opened the door for him to pass and walk away. How can you grant somebody in detention access to go out and pray on trust? Somebody in your detention, you leave and make it go pray. If he pray finish it, for where did they do that kind of thing? Which kind of story? And nobody should compare that situation with the Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu has been thrown into dungeon below. I don't know whether it is 20 feet. Wait there for that DSS. I don't know where they put them exactly. Darkness where light no day. They take and compare somebody where you live for prison, live on with their condition, everything. You say you go pray, you live on. Which kind of talk with that? It's only anyway, actually for the Nigeria. And we hear in Nigeria. When Nigeria is the only country in the world, number one country to forgive terrorists. Number one country to recycle, rehabilitate terrorists. Number one country to have repentant terrorists. Nigeria.
So, yeah. And, yeah. It's funny that I'm chasing this Binance guy because they know that the Naira is in trouble. And once people switch to another currency, it's over. It's game over. And people cannot switch to dollar because there's not enough dollars in Nigeria. And the dollars in Nigeria are not only being controlled, but hoarded. So the next best thing is something crypto. And this is part of the whole imprisonment process that is Nigeria. If you control someone's money, you control his ambitions and his capabilities, what you can do in a capitalist world. Today they are queuing for fuel. People wake up, queue for fuel morning till night. So what they do that day, what they produce that day just wasted because you were queuing for fuel.
And that's how they're going to queue for fuel for another 8 years before you know.
Well,
that is.
And when you queue and get the fuel, you go home, burn it on generator to watch TV and on fan. What kind of life is that? Anyway, yeah.
So let's proceed some more and listen to this, what's it called? This guy, so you can continue your conversation on that.
Yeah. Yeah, go on.
Believe you me, I want to tell you, I don't know what you are talking about. All I know...
You seem not to know exactly what we are talking about here.
No. You are bringing an issue that Interpol is not aware of. Let me define the role of Interpol so that you can understand. Interpol is an international police organization that assists law enforcement agencies within the 196 countries to look for a fugitive that runs or is hiding. And if you look at all the other fugitives that are brought to face justice in Nigeria, they have the link, those who are involved with Interpol. So I don't know I don't want to talk about issue of Kanu, who brought him back to Nigeria. I'm not aware how he was brought back to Nigeria or how he came into Nigeria. Interpol is not aware. We stated this long time ago, and we made it categorically clear So don't, it's not a question. There are what we call police-to-police relationship, international police cooperation. Another police, it does not necessarily bring Interpol.
Okay.
If one police and another exchange, a suspect is running from them, they can have an international police cooperation that out of the scope of Interpol.
Okay.
However, if a notice is given to an individual, like blue notices, when the inmates in Kuje prison escaped, we did a biometric capture of those suspects, and we shared it with international communities. We shared it with our law enforcement agencies. Many of them were really apprehended because we have their biometric. Now, in the issue of red notice, where a red notice is issued under the federal court that issued that notice of arrest, that is warrant of arrest for such international.
Yes.
It will go to the Interpol, we'll process it, we'll look at it, we'll look at the charges, and then we'll issue a red notice.
Okay.
On that red notice, we bring back the culprit to face justice because all the 196 countries will be looking for that individual.
Would sincerely like to thank you, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, Garba Umar, who is currently...
Thank you very much. Can you guys just analyze how Nigeria has been known for lies and lies, because they clearly stated that they worked with Interpol to bring Mazen.
You can analyze that.
Here you have
next year, you know, go fit and
former number 2 Interpol telling you that it never happened, that he does not even know what you're talking about. Don't implicate me in this issue because this is like an international mess. This is an international mess. So what do you guys think about this? Royce, let's start with you.
Yeah, if you notice, he's trying to exempt Interpol from it because Interpol is an international body. So the moment you bring Interpol into it and say, oh yeah, Interpol is aware of it, then that means you've dragged Interpol into it. So he was careful enough to take out Interpol from the whole saga and said it's police to police, whatever he calls it, which I think is still bullshitting, because sorry for using that language, because I feel like there's nothing like that. How can you tell me that a person in Kenya, the Nigerian police will collaborate with the Kenya police just to bring that person without even the person going any form of hearing?
Exactly. When after he have denied Interpol knowing anything about it, he felt, I don't commit myself. Hey, I don't enter wahala. Why I can't talk now for public with this? You, in order to cover his head, he now turned back to tell you that is another way police in Nigeria can collaborate with the police in Kenya to bring Nnamdi Kanu out. Now, if police in Kenya collaborate with the police in Nigeria, if Nigerian police with the Kenyan police collaborate to bring Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria, how come Kenya authorities denying they don't know anything about it? Because if the Kenyan police associated, collaborated, facilitated, that means it's official. And the Kenya police cannot do that without going through due process. So when British tell you they are your father, this is the kind of things you see. You go see the snake, you go see the head, yet the head is missing. I don't know if you are getting what I'm saying. They go show you snake, show you the head of the snake, tell you that the snake has no head. You will say, but this is, they tell you, no, that is just your imagination. The head is not existing. And by the time you try to touch that thing you doubt to be the head, the snake will strike you. That is what British being father over some people make. You see it clearly that your citizen was kidnapped from a country. All you come out to tell the world is that there is nothing you can do about it. So if Prince Charles happened to be kidnapped in Nigeria, you will come out to tell us there is nothing we can do about it. Is that? Is it because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a Biafran man? If a real British man will not be say he go, you see why I used to tell us that a time will come, no matter where you nationalize, one day you will be asked a question to defend. You will be in a situation where you have to defend yourself for yourself, by yourself, or by yourself alone. America will not be there because you have their passport. Canada will not be there to defend you because you have their passport. Now you alone will be the citizen of yourself. This is why we need freedom. This is why we need this freedom. Why do you think Mazen Nnamdi Kanu rejected the offer of British to come and seek asylum in Britain? You think he's a fool? He knows we don't need asylum, we need freedom. So that all Biafrans will troop out and rush into Britain, so that our land will be empty for these wicked people to come and take over your land. May God have mercy on us.
Hearing or trial in Kenya, how is that even possible? You just bundle that person and then you bring the person back. That's to show you the level of criminality going on in the Nigerian states. And this one is, they didn't expect it to go this way. I bet you they didn't even expect this Mazen Nnamdi Kanu case to drag to this point. So they were expecting, oh, when they kidnap him, everything will die down. People won't ask questions. Nothing is going to come up about how he was being abducted from Kenya. But as our God will do it, it's opening up all their secrets so that there won't be any place for them to hide when we will come for them. You know, what they are doing now is damage control. Going from media houses, trying to exempt themselves. Interpol is trying to exempt themselves. These ones are trying to exempt themselves from the whole shenanigans going on. But we'll see to the end. We'll see what's gonna happen.
Because I actually believe that this story has not ended yet. Because if you allow such impunity for a government to go to another country and kidnap a citizen or whether anybody, it is there. That means there is breakdown of rule of law, international rule of law. So I don't think this is the last we're going to hear of this. Believe me, Nigeria would definitely be sanctioned for this. It's only going to take these people time because Britain was implicated in all of this. That is why you see Britain just trying to see how they can sweep it under the rug. But it's so much of a mess and a dirt that it's refusing to stay under the rug.
Yeah. Because
Starman, what you think?
Britain believed that by now, by them denying that they don't have anything they can do, there is nothing they are going to do, that their hands are tied, that this is beyond, they don't have, they even went to the extent of telling you that they have no provision of anything in their law, in their agenda, in their system to defend anybody like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu should anything like this occur. They believe that the whole thing will die away because the original plan, like you see, we told you, our prime minister told you, when they kidnapped Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, everybody will start shouting, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu. And by the time you go to American embassy, go to Canadian embassy, go to British embassy, Chida Saworu came out to tell you, do not go to embassies again. You only go to Kenyan embassy. Had it been Simon Ekpa did not come out, by the time you go to Kenyan embassy 1, 2, 3 times, the same people, Shina Saworu and Shikedozen will come out to tell you, is now convinced, we are now convinced that these Kenyan people don't have anything to do about it. Go to Nigeria embassy, and you go to Nigeria embassy, and Nigeria will do you normal thing. they go leave their normal thread mark, sorrows, tears, and blood. Everybody go house. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu chapter close. And they remember, by now, Radio Biafra would have been forgotten because they initially wanted to let the radio die away until Mazi Simon, our Prime Minister, started shouting then. That was 2-3 years ago, I believe. He started shouting until they went and they revoked the license back again. By now, original plan was that by now, nobody would have been saying anything about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And by now, they must have wasted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because nobody would come back to ask for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But now they know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's life is more important than the life of what is his name? Biden, Joe Biden even. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's life now is more delicate than that of Joe Biden of America. So now they are running head asket they don't know what to do. Because by the time Kenya is denied, Interpol have denied, British. What really happened? Even I go here for when you lie, when you go thief this watch now. If you go thief this watch, I ask you, who thief this watch? You say no be you, you hide them here. Abi, somebody from behind the scene say you hide them. What do? You go bribe that person. No talk, no talk, no talk. You say another person that see you when they tell them no talk. That person go say, wait, I know. I will see must shop. You go there settle the go. So now waiting the cash Britain now. Britain is like now anything we have to do, we must do, but let this thing remain sealed. Now there they day. But the thing be say, it no go work. It no go work.
Yeah, yeah, this, Oyibo people, Europeans think black people are stupid. And to be honest, the way some of us behave gives credence to that stupid European thought. And it's because a lot of us allow themselves to be used to play these mind games on us. So here we are, you have two countries, each with their own police, and then a system of international policing setting that these two countries, before anything happens between the two police structures and governments, there has to be communication. And specifically, Interpol was set up for this very purpose of carrying whatever communication. Okay, fine. They want to arrest Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. To me, this is all a clean-up job. Like I said in the beginning, MI5, MI6 was involved in this. When they were doing it, their main focus was on getting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In the confusion, they got away with the people not asking enough questions. So, because the question has to be asked, so how is it that Nigerian Interpol or Nigerian police and Kenya police or governments via Interpol get to, quote unquote, as they claim, arrest a British citizen? Even though Mazi Nnamdi had denounced his Nigerian citizenship, but the fact still remains that he's a British citizen. So exactly on what jurisdiction were they acting? And this is why nobody can tell me Britain was not involved in this, especially as Kenya and Nigeria are two of Britain's stooge colonies. So Britain knows. Britain was involved in this. And this is why Interpol is now trying to sweep it under the carpet, because that question should be asked. How do you just grab a British citizen from one African country to another African country, And then Interpol, claiming to be international police, doesn't even tell the country, Britain, where the man is from. How? You know, so this denial now is so yeah, obviously keep the mess in Nigeria. You just have Nigeria Interpol deny it. The last thing you want is the whole thing linking to anything bigger, like Europe, Interpol, and MI5, MI6. That's the last thing they want. So yeah, just keep the mess in Nigeria. Have the Nigerians deny it. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
Just to add to it, Starman. Also, remember, Mazen Nnamdi said that whoever supports Nigeria in this our liberation, that we are going to wage a war on them. So it doesn't matter. I know this Kenya thing, like you were talking about, World Greatest. Even after we get Biafra, we will still have big issues with Kenya. Because this one, it's not just going to sweep under the carpet. No.
Sure.
Definitely, we'll have a lot of problem with Kenya. Because of what they are doing and what the hand they played in renditioning Mazen Nnamdi Kanu as well. Yeah.
And let's remember, the family that's still ruling Kenya, now so-called British
Kenyatta.
friends in Africa.
Yeah.
So, for sure, that family, they will pay for it.
And this was the same family that was helped their father Kenyatta when he ran to the east for when the British was trying to
he ran to Enugu. In fact, they named the street after him. Enugu.
This is the same family.
Nice.
Well, I welcome everybody on here, man. We have 176 people watching us live from all platforms, YouTube and X Space. We welcome you all to this program. Thank you all for being here. If you want to join the conversation, you can as well. You can get the link from Twitter and from YouTube. I've posted it on the comment section. Let's listen to the lawyer of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, his comment regarding the report on the extraordinary rendition that the US gave on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So,
and one of the ways is to do restitution.
Aloy Ejimako, the lead counsel for Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has reacted to a recent report from the United States on Kanu's case. Ejimako has urged the Nigerian government to admit its errors in Kanu's trial and bring the prosecution to a closure without further ado. Ejimako referenced the U.S. 2023 Country Report on Human Rights Practices Nigeria, which says the Department of State Services DSS violated Kanu's rights during his arrest and extradition. The report also said Kanu was arbitrarily arrested by the Nigerian security agents in June 2021. Ejimako commended the US for officially and publicly acknowledging the unlawfulness of Kanu's continued detention. Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention in Nigeria since his arrest and extradition from Kenya in 2021. He's facing charges of terrorism and treason. Kanu's legal team, led by Aloy Ejimako, has been fighting for his release and challenging the legality of his arrest, extradition, and prosecution. On behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his legal team hereby expresses its profound appreciation to the government of the United States, including in particular the U.S. mission in Nigeria. It is indeed a demonstration of diplomatic courage. It needs to be emphasized that this laudable position the U.S. government has waited for almost 3 years to take and make public is surely well considered and thus important. Ejimako added that Kanu's prosecution has become drawn out and questionable, having been initiated nearly a decade ago in 2015 for alleged offenses that are no longer relevant. He stated that there are other compelling reasons, such as the widely acknowledged fact that Nnamdi Kanu may not receive a fair trial due to the serious complications arising from his current detention location.
Thank you very much. You guys have anything to include on what the very brilliant lawyer, the first lawyer that I heard the word extraordinary rendition from, and his counterpart was telling him, "There's nothing like that." Can you guys analyze that?
If a lawyer
Don't hold anything back. Don't hold anything back.
if a lawyer Jumako has been the lead counsel in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case, I swear to God, by now Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have been out.
Of course.
Ejiofor was a complete puppet. He was just using that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case to hold back everything, to calm, in fact, to kill the movement, to stop deliberation, everything. He was doing everything. Even at a point, at a time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stopped coming to the court. That's when I lost it. So I'm very happy that he's now the lead counsel now, and we can see progress. It's no more 3 months interval for court case, no more coming to court without Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, no more done and dusted like he always talked about, most trusted. No, all those things are all gone. We are now seeing what the real lawyers are doing. We are seeing positive results, even though we know that the zoo court can't give us the justice that we want. But we are actually seeing like real positive results coming out from what Aloy Ejimako is doing. And I'll say kudos to him. He's doing well.
Thank you very much. Stam.
Yeah, the US report, it's funny they're coming out with it now. Even though they wrote it they compiled it since 2023. It's quite funny they're coming out with it now. Even though they've known of all the Christians that were being killed, And I remember when I heard about the report, the first thing I asked was, which department of the US government compiled it? They said it was one of the department, not the Department of State, but some think tank in the Department of State, yeah. And immediately I heard that, I just thought, okay, it's just a report. Now the question is, will people like Blinken, who turned up a few months ago, giving the zoo terrorist army $1 billion, would they actually read this report? And I remember us even talking about the language of the report, how, instead of just being factual, it's almost as if they were choosing their language not to offend their Nigerian friends. So instead of just saying, oh yeah, they kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or extraordinary rendition, they said they arrested. The same problem of quack journalism everywhere. The same problem. Yeah, I know these guys, they write a report, they're not journalists, but it's the same thing. Quack information everywhere. This one, they know, can you imagine? They are complaining about what happened. This is America. Your extraordinary rendition, is it not their language? Why are they writing a report as if they don't know what it is and calling it arrest? Why are they writing, if it's arrest, why are they writing the report in the first place? Anyway, that's Ifeanyi Ejiofor, that guy. Hi, nah, man. A lot of people, when they think of war, they think the most dangerous weapon in a war is nuclear bomb or stealth bomber or aircraft carrier, all those big showpiece weapons. But no. The most dangerous weapon in any war is the enemy within, the spy, the inside man, the person named the espionage, sabotage. This enemy is more dangerous than nuclear weapon. You know, in fact, your nuclear weapon, such an enemy can render it useless. If he hacks into your mainframe computer that is controlling your nuclear weapon, sends the code, or leaves a backdoor open for the enemy, those ones now hack. On the day of the war, you press your button, nothing happened. Yeah. So what was the point of having nuclear? People don't understand how dangerous the enemy within is and can be. Most dangerous weapon in any war is the infiltrator, the saboteur. Anyway, yeah.
Thank you very much for this fantastic.
That's Starman. You know, I was asking what greatest the other day. Why is America playing this double game, this double-sided game every time? You want to support Biafra at the same time you still want to stay with Nigeria. Why?
So you see this topic you just brought up. So that's what we're going to use to end this broadcast. So, but let's
okay. Let me just leave
it. That's a very important question, because after all the analysis, we need to ask those questions and ask the United States and the global community what's next. Are you guys just going to give up reports and report? Because I'm going to show you so many reports that I downloaded here, but no actions to back it up. So let me just play this. Let me play the reaction of the Nigerian Zoom media for you when Nnamdi Kanu was brought to.
In the manner.
Let me play for you guys. I want to see if I can start where. Okay. All right, pardon me. I just don't want to play the unnecessary part for you guys. These are unnecessary parts.
To the Nigeria Basketball Federation by head coach Otis Hughley. It will be the first time the three sisters will be on the same national team.
I could not get to the exact place. I wasn't able to.
Finally, under entertainment, the 74th annual Cannes Film Festival.
Let me not bore you guys with all this silly conversation. It's just that I was not able to cut it before the show started. But as time goes on, I promise you, our viewers, our professionalism will continue to grow as we get more team members into the group. That's going to help us with their different kind of expertise. But one thing we can assure you as a group is that we're going to be bringing visual update, visual news to you guys. We're not only going to be on Twitter. All right, let's go.
United Kingdom following the arrest of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra.
So this video I want to play now, right, is still going to. I wouldn't want you guys to trash it so much, but I just want to play it before I go to the next one. That's the Nigerian media reaction to Nnamdi Kanu. But I just want you guys to see. It's going to be part of what we're gonna. It's part of the question Royce asked, right? So this is the parliament. Let's see what they're gonna do.
Nnamdi Kanu, the UK Parliament says it is now set to commence a debate on the repatriation of the separatist leader. In a parliamentary schedule posted on its website, the date set for the debate is Wednesday, July 7th. According to the document, Lord Alton of Liverpool will be raising the issue at the House of Lords and will query the Nigerian government on the separatist leader's transfer to Nigeria. The British government had said that Kanu, who was traveling with a British passport, was not arrested within the United Kingdom's territory as controversy continued to trail the circumstances and where Kanu was repatriated from. In another development, Kelechi Madu, the Minister of Justice and Solicitor General of the Government of Alberta in Canada, has slammed the Nigerian Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, over the rearrest of the IPOB leader. In a post on his LinkedIn page, Kelechi wrote that if reports that Kanu was abducted were true, Malami was not only a disgrace to the rule of law, but was also not worthy to be a public officer and called on world leaders to apply appropriate sanctions on Nigeria. Well, there are two sides to this story. The Nigerian government will argue that
There are no two sides to any story, you piece of shit. Well, before we proceed, pardon my language, but before we proceed, I want you guys to analyze on that topic regarding the UK Parliament voting and the comment by the Minister of Justice in Alberto, Canada, Alberto, Quebec. I don't know which of it. She just said it. So can you guys just give a short analysis, but don't hit it too much because it's going to be part of our final conversation. Thank you, Royce.
What's the outcome of the UK Parliament? That's my question, because I know that's old news, right?
Yes, that's the old news. Yes.
What was the outcome?
Thank you. And also that question is, what was the outcome of the United Nations? So, Starman.
Yeah, so remember when they first kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, people were putting pressure on Katrina Liang and High Commission. Say British citizen has been kidnapped. What was their response? That they've not heard a request from Nnamdi Kanu. And people are like, but hold on, he's incarcerated. How is it? Are they going to give him mobile phone to call you guys? So, see, the British Parliament, and then when PM Simon put up a petition for us to, because you know in Britain, if you put up a petition for the British government to talk about something, if you can raise 100,000 signatures, they will discuss it. Did you not see how the as soon as PM Simon put up that petition, the thing was just climbing, and after a week, it just froze. I remember for like a week, I kept looking at that thing. It just stuck at 50,000. 50,000, 1,000 some. They didn't want it to go further. So, see, the British government talking about this thing, because I think some of us did write to our MPs and all that stuff. And eventually, yeah, you know, they couldn't hide the fact that one of their own citizens was incarcerated in Nigeria. But you see, there's Britain, there's a way they play their...
Catherine Lang said that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not making it easy for them to help her. For them to help him. That she cannot do anything at this point. Because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was not like, he was too insultive. He was not respectful to even Britain, even to herself, being the ambassador to Nigeria, British ambassador to Nigeria. So there is nothing they can do to help Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is what she said in public television. Arise television, I think, by the way. So, not be saying anything where somebody talk behind it. She talk and openly.
Games and politics. They can start talking about how, it just leaked that, corruption. The prime minister is linked to $50 billion illegal oil theft or whatever. I'm just making an example. And this is how Britain does their politics. In the middle of this, corruption. It will splash the front news, everything. Next thing, you hear something about, the person that brought the information used to be a drug addict 15 years ago. And then they'll just take over the news. Nobody's talking about Prime Minister's corruption anymore. See, this is, I'm telling you, Boris Johnson has done it before very well. I've talked about it before, but it's another story on its own. This is what they do. It happened when that leak came out that Britain was planning to destabilize 5 African countries. Just like the Americans, their own leak too came out with that list of 7 Arab countries the Americans were planning to destabilize. And Nigeria was in that list that came out of countries in Africa Britain was planning to destabilize. But then they shifted the whole argument when suddenly the defense minister and Theresa May, the prime minister, started fighting over, the defense minister leaked whether that Theresa May had one illness like that or something,
Kanu
or the other way around. I can't
Nigerian.
remember now. That was how that whole leak that Britain was planning to invade 5 African countries, destabilize and invade to recolonize. That's how that news disappeared. Nobody heard about it again. Then they just moved the defense minister, that Gavin Williamson, just moved him to another post quietly.
Starman, let's not trash too much the closing this thing. But I see you're already trying to go deeper and deeper. So let me bring you back. Let me bring you back.
So like Royce asked, that this parliamentary discussion they had now, how far? What talks has Britain engaged with Nigerian government to free their citizens?
Starman, you're going far. Even Britain sent delegates to go and meet Nnamdi Kanu inside the dungeon. My question is, what's up with that delegate that went there? What was the discussion? What was the findings? What did they come to terms with? What was their conclusion? This is why I don't pay any of all these Western people serious, because
they're gonna have to answer. They're gonna have to answer those questions, so because those are the questions.
Yeah, but
people are gonna start asking now. We're gonna see if we can even create a hashtag for it and have our people proliferate it.
So, what greatness? What's the whole point of the whole investigation and deliberation on their parliament and sending people down there to go? What's the whole point of it?
With all the Nigeria government, judicial and governmental injustice, where they lost the case, they couldn't pin anything on Mazi. Britain hasn't even made out a cry. Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The case is over. You guys have lost. Britain hasn't even made a protest. And I keep asking, is it because he's black? Because I know if Nnamdi Kanu was white, this nonsense won't be happening. Is it because he's black? Anyway, one day we'll ask Britain that question. Yeah, one day.
And I think when we finish, we'll try and see how we can create a way and proliferate their handle, British handle on social media, and have our people harass them with it for a minute. So we'll see, just the way just the way it was done to that professor. We'll have our people are capable. We are very many on social media, so we'll be able to bring their attention to it. And some of this video, please, if you're watching, crop those videos where we're asking questions. I'll try and see if I can make short videos that our people can post too. So before we proceed, let's just hear the commentary from these two people. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I just want us to hear their commentary before I play the other video. We have a couple of more videos to listen to, so just sit back and relax.
Treat their citizen in the manner which they deem fit. But you know that Kanu is also a British citizen, and so that's why the UK Parliament has set this date of Wednesday the 7th to find out what really went wrong there.
Well, the UK Parliament also weighs in when it's not dealing with British citizens. Right. You'll recall the debate about NSAS. That had nothing to do with British nationality. That was just to do with the rule of law and what they found to be egregious that was happening in Nigeria. And closer to home, I'm remembering my dad today, John Major, who was a prime minister at the time, not just a regular minister, argued passionately in Parliament about June 12th, and we all know how that ended. Today marks the 23rd year of his passing, so we know that made no difference. Amen. Thank you, darling. It made not a blind bit of difference, quite frankly, because a sovereign nation will do what it chooses. All other nations can do is advocate and, try and convince. Look at what's happening in England. I've been following the case of Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe, a British-Iranian lady who went on holiday with her daughter to Iran and was jailed in Iran. And her husband has been protesting. Boris Johnson weighed in as foreign minister. He weighed in as prime minister. She still is there languishing in jail. She has served her whole term. Then they now added a few extra years just to torment her. And there's absolutely nothing the British government can do. This is the sad reality of it. You are really at the mercy of your sovereign state where you happen to be once you're detained and what have you. And now to Madu, who is the Chief Justice Minister, I believe, in Alberta, yes, Canada, speaking so passionately, lambasting our Attorney General, Malami. I guess he's coming from the point of rule of law, like I said, the procedure. Like I said in the interview that we had with Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, that process that they described, which is yet to be proved, but what they have described is unknown to Kenyan law. That process that they described of him being arrested and beaten and what have you, Kenyan law is actually quite strict. They have extradition treaties that even claim that if an offense is political in character, the fugitive should not be surrendered. Yes. So how did this happen? We don't know. I guess the investigation will be made. But I want to remind Mr. Madu that even in Canada, we all perceive Canada to be the home of the nicest people ever. They're so laid back. Their president, their current prime minister, his dad, Pierre Trudeau, when he was prime minister of Canada, he took the gloves off on the Quebec Liberation Front. He instituted War Measures Acts in peacetime. There were mass arrests. There was suspension of rights, including habeas corpus, because that group turned itself into a terrorist organization. They were killing, they were kidnapping, and Pierre Trudeau dealt with them with an iron fist. Every country will protect its sovereignty. That's just the bottom line. Yeah. But what we ask in a democracy is that the rule of law is upheld, that the procedures are upheld. This is no longer a banana republic. We're no longer in the military era.
Yeah, the Kenyan government has denied any collaboration with the Nigerian government.
They have to, because it's shocking.
Yeah, in extraditing Kanu.
Okay, a number of points. One, we live in an international community. It's a global community. If anything happens anywhere in the world, you are likely to have parliaments all over the world and interested persons making comments. This is what has happened in this particular instance. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow, Kanu's arrest, Igboho's, attack is discussed in the parliament in North Korea, if they have one, or is discussed in China, by the Communist Party. So that should be expected. The second thing is that, look, what has brought all this about is the lack of transparency on the part of the Nigerian government with regard to the circumstances of arrest, where he was extradited from, and not coming out in the open will of course raise questions, not just internationally, but also locally, because you are dealing with not just public international law, but also fundamental human rights within the global framework. The third point is that, yes, the House of Commons wants to debate Kanu's arrest. Yes, he has British citizenship. And approaches have been made to the House of Commons in England by Kanu supporters to say that the British government should wade into the matter. The British High Commission in Nigeria has also been queried as to how and why Kanu got access to his British passport by the by Nigerian authorities. And I said, well, he could get a travel certificate once he was able to leave Nigeria in September 2017.
Well, to you, it's very hard to listen to these people because you see how they first of all talked about the unconstitutional means of bringing Nnamdi Kanu, and at the same time make excuses for the Nigerian government. Whatever the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's father did at the time, he never went to another country to kidnap the dissident or the separatist or whatever name they want to call our leader. So you see how they equate those two, but fail to put into context that they are totally different, because the topic we're talking about now is going to kidnap someone, a British citizen from Kenya, where the person was not even traveling with Nigerian passport. So that is what we're trying. You see how the news media in Nigeria were able to skew it and make it in favor. But well, what's your take, Royce? Let me not just go too much.
Man, these journalists are the same. They are all biased. Abati to Joy Yope. They refuse to pinpoint the fact that Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya, and the Nigerian government. He said it himself that Nigerian government, there's no transparency from the Nigerian government side. So that's enough evidence to let you know that these people actually know what's happening. They know what happened to Nnamdi Kanu. They understand that it was Nigerian government kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu. But they can't say anything because if they say something, the Nigerian government will come hard on them.
It's not just that Nigerian government kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu. Nigerian government kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu with the help of British government. In fact, Britain kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu because without the aid of Britain, without Britain being interested, Nigeria wouldn't have been able to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu in the first place. Britain played the major role. That's Britain lead, Nigeria follows. Britain lead, others follows. That's how it be. It's British now, not be Nigeria. Who be Nigeria to go kidnap Nnamdi Kanu? They know they fear. You don't know what it resemble. Your servant go come carry your pikin for boy. Your own servant wey still dey under you go carry your pikin dey do servant again. Is that possible? Your own servant carry your own pikin wey you born. Nigeria still there for under Britain now. So how Nigeria go get power, go kidnap British citizen if Britain no say make una go carry am, see am where e dey? Britain know say Nnamdi Kanu don comot for Britain. He don enter Kenya. He dey Kenya. Britain know. Oh my God, people know the gree. Britain is the number. If you want to catch the people wey do this thing now, number one person where you go catch British. When you catch Britain, then you go. The Britain go tell you say they use Nigeria was only instrument, or Nigeria is only instrument used to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu, because the kidnap was so important to Britain because Nnamdi Kanu wan put sand for their garri. Nnamdi, so they don't put sand, not be saying one put. Nnamdi Kanu don't dabaru their business, don't dabaru their plan. So they say, if we keep quiet, this one, it does scatter our business, so. But they no say the one where past Beatty don't come. They never see anything.
I think TVC was fined 5 million naira at a certain time. Arise News was fined 5 million naira during the election. So all these things they know. They just know that if
it was channels and Arise. They've never fined TVC.
Oh no, TVC Arise. I know Arise was fined. I think 5 million or 3 million naira during the
Channels
election.
TV was even invited to DSS to tell you how bad it was.
Yeah. So these people they know all these things. All these silly comparisons they are trying to do is just to buttress their points, just to Nnamdi Kanu shouldn't be this, shouldn't seek for freedom, blah blah blah. But they know the truth. That's the main thing there, and they are just shying away from the truth. They don't want to say the truth.
Thank you, Starman. We have a couple of more videos to run.
Yeah. So starting with all these inconsequential people, I don't really hold their names in my head. Is it the one they say is Abiola's daughter?
Yeah, that's Tundu Abiola. Yeah, that was Abiola's daughter.
Right. So the way she was talking about NSAS, like as if, Britain tried to wade into NSAS. Listen, Britain did as if they didn't see NSAS. They didn't know what was happening. In their former colonial, Britain shifted the other direction until one Niger MP, a Nigerian, I think one Yoruba girl like that, not Badenoch, I can't remember her name. But she started making noise about NSAS in the British Parliament because she found out how British police helped set up SARS. The whole thing now leaked, burst. Even the Nigerian guy that was part of the Nigerian envoy that came to Britain to organize the whole setting up of SARS, he too, there was one of them that was, I think he didn't like what SARS turned out. He came and he said his own piece. Britain was behind SARS. The only reason they started talking about it was because that MP, that Niger MP woman, made so much noise about it on Twitter. I remember on Twitter that back then, even though I wasn't really on Twitter then, but for me to even notice it, not being fully on Twitter, you know. So when they are doing talk, see, you need to understand these talks are actually against their own interests. But because they don't want to be seen as hypocritical as, you know, these people telling you, oh, these human rights, but then suddenly they're going against it because it's not in their interest, they will put up a charade talk. That's why the talks always lead to nothing. And then as for the zoo journalists, you see how they were talking about, first of all, Nigeria's illegal actions, breaking international rules. Obviously, spotlight on Malami. And then they now had to contrast that with the Canadian Justice Minister, what's his name? I can't remember his name now. And this is another Justice Minister of a country that actually works, not a failed state like Nigeria, of a country, in fact, of one of the countries where the table, where then they write the international law. He's calling out failed state Nigeria Sharia justice, Sharia justice, Malami. And instead of, because these journalists know that they don't actually have an argument against him, they actually leave the guy that they wanted to talk about too. You see how they just left the guy and started talking about Justin Trudeau's, not even Justin Trudeau, but Justin Trudeau's father and what he did in 1970. Which, as you even pointed out, has nothing to do with extradition. Nothing. You see how they twist the truth in the zoo with this brown. When I said these people they are Agberos that went to school, that they learned how to speak decent grammar. You know, that this look at the lack of integrity. You can see that Abiodun girl, when she was talking, I think she was the one talking about, when she was talking about Trudeau's father, you could see that now research with then do research. Okay, so this guy now, how go take just throw shade on him, just to nullify the logical legal thing when you don't talk. The logical legal thing is said. How can we just bring something that looks like a greater evil, throw it on him, and then nobody will even be to just balance or cancel out the thing he is talking about, and then can go, oh, okay, yeah, Justin Trudeau. The guy is not Justin Trudeau. Like, what the hell? Justin Trudeau's father in the 1970s, the Quebec uprising, 1970s. Again, all on top of this self-determination thing.
And is it not part of the movement that she was talking about that gave Canada the kind of autonomy, like Quebec has its autonomy from Ontario? Ontario has its own autonomy. Yeah. So those are people that fought for their country. Those people were actually doing the right thing at the time. And to tell you they succeeded, look at where Canada is today. So you see why I tell you that she was trying to make false equivalence in order to be able to shield Nigeria from responsibility. You understand?
Yeah.
So,
Isn't it funny that someone that they killed his father, the state killed his father, is now defending the same states?
I think it's something that is common with the people that comes from the southwest. That the same people that killed their father, they end up going to love them. That's Stockholm syndrome, like Sheon Kuti. But we're not going to go there yet. Let me just Afanika. So let me just run through what I have on the screen. What I have on the screen is the agreement on extradition, right? Is the agreement. Sam, I remember we talked about this particular topic, but we didn't have this much audience then. So I just want to put it to them that look at this United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime Country Office, Nigeria, United Nations, Abuja. I just want you to know that it has everything to do with United Nations. Look at United Nations 2016, all right, reserved. Disclaimer, this publication has been produced with the assistance of the European Union. The contents of this publication are the sole responsibility of the author and can in no way be taken to reflect the vision of the European Union or United States. That's a disclaimer to tell you that the person that wrote this wrote it out of his own, but got all the information from, it's like a manual, a booklet for people to understand what extradition or the treaty that Nigeria is involved in. So I'm not going to go through it. It's just explain what extradition is, the processes. Look at it. You have to go through a judge, a chief judge, a federal high court. These are the processes that you need to go through in order for you to be able to transport one person from one place to another. And as we go through, I just want to point out something very important why I brought this document.
Can you increase the font size?
Okay, for sure.
So
I want you all to pay attention to this. This name is Abubakar Malami San, Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Attorney General Chamber, Federal Ministry of Justice, Abuja, right? He said, it is a very good resource material on extradition, and it is therefore my pleasure to recommend the case and material on extradition in Nigeria to all and sundry for use in identifying the position of extraordinary, I'm reading the position of extraordinary law in Nigeria. So this is to tell you that he is fully aware of what extradition is, right? So if you go down, it will tell you some more. You understand? It will analyze it some more. I don't want to go through. If you want to understand it, you can go back and listen to some of our previous broadcasts on my YouTube channel. I don't know if it's on Starman's YouTube channel, but we actually talked about this very well. So these are treaties, you understand? So countries that UK is a treaty with, you understand? That's extraordinary, extradition treaty, not rendition, and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to point out to you that Malami endorsed it, and it was ratified, or rather it was codified into law in Nigeria because it was taken to high courts and all the federal courts in Nigeria. They had hearings, they brought both parties to debate it, and at the end of the day, the court and the House of Representatives codified it into law. It's an international law, but Nigeria now brought down international law and made it domestic law. So it is the law of the land in Nigeria that you cannot go to another country and kidnap someone and bring them to Nigeria without due process. And what is the due process? The person needs to have their day in court. Thank you. So we'll proceed. Now let me play this video. You see, it's not something of pleasure to us.
The indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, who was charged on Monday for alleged treason and terrorism, among others, by the federal government of Nigeria. Senate Minority Leader Ehinaya Abaribe, who stood in as surety for Kanu when the charges were first preferred against him on Wednesday, called on the federal government to respect the rights of the secessionist leader as enshrined in Section 31 of the Constitution and Article 4 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, while other supporters of Kanu expressed disappointment on social media as his arrest deepened doubts on the secessionist movement's ability to actualize a sovereign Biafran state. But many Nigerians are continuing to share mixed reactions on social media.
Please, I want you guys to take note of that part when you're analyzing, to include DOS, because she says now there is doubt that the Biafrans will not be able to achieve their secessionist movement because Nnamdi Kanu has been kidnapped. But they didn't use kidnap though. they use abducted or arrested.
Regional
Please, I want you guys to take note of that
regional
part to be able to link that to how DOS was trying to make what she said come true when you're analyzing this video. Thank you. Let's continue.
Take some reactions real quick. This is from Kevin Odans, who wrote, "The arrest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just confirms one thing. The Buhari government has all the resources needed to arrest those behind kidnapping, banditry, and terrorism in Nigeria. They know exactly where they are and how to get them. But like T.Y. Danjuma said, they collude." Another user, Dr. Olufumilayo, wrote, "The federal government has arrested Nnamdi Kanu. All the resources available was deployed to arrest and extradite the man back to Nigeria. So how about the leader of ISWAP? How about Shekau's successor, leading Boko Haram now? When are we going to use all we have to get them? Or is there no need?" That's your question, Rufai.
I mean, we should use all we have to get them. And this has shown that we can actually get them if we want to. And that's why the federal government should do this in the interest of Nigerians. Get the bandits, go after them. Because when you look at it on the grand scheme of things, they're killing a lot of people in this country. They're hurting people and across large swaths of this country. So they should go ahead and get them. Use every means possible. We see all of these people on television. I mean, Dogo Kidira, what is his name? We see them. So this same intelligence that was used should be deployed at the bandits, because no bandit should come and disrupt the states. And that's why we did ask Sheikh Gumi the other day, where does his loyalty lie? And it was a critical question. Because we can't say, oh, they've been deceived, they've been hurt, nothing has been done for their social welfare and all of that. A bandit should go ahead and be hurting a lot of people. That's not the way to go. Like, we want peace in every region. Coming back to Nnamdi Kanu, he'll face his trial. Trial is going on. This is a retrial. He'll have his day in court. He'll face his time. And he will look at the possibilities and how that goes. But most importantly, let's ask ourselves critical questions in this country. What led to the agitation that is now palpable in every part?
Do you see the way he bragged? He will face his question. He will face his trial. But ask Rufai after the trial, did you come back to tell us he has faced his trial? Why are they not letting him go? Why? It's very easy to say somebody you kidnapped, you want him to face trial. For where did that happen? For Nigeria.
Part of the country. Because you see, in all of this conversation, if we miss the point of what led to this agitation, then 10, 15 years down the line, I hope we don't start having those agitations again.
Right. Now,
and it's the underdevelopment in regions of this country. And it's not only in Igbo land. Even when you go to the north. And that's why you see when we talk about holding power, I keep asking, what are they doing for the people? With the lots of northerners that have held power in this country, has it bettered the lots of the lives of people in the north? They still live in abject poverty. And when you come to the south, it's every part of the country. So this calls on the government to do what is necessary to develop every part of the country. And that's why people are calling for restructuring. You know why people are calling for restructuring? Because they say, if you can't develop the parts of the country, let us do it ourselves in every region. But it still goes back to that failure.
Well, before you go, Dr. But I just wanted to ask you about Senator Abaribe's concern. If we can pull up this day's newspaper, the lead story there is the federal government mobilizes prosecutors against Kanu, considers mass murder charge. I mean, what is your take on that topic, really?
It's not only Senator Eyinaya Abaribe who is saying that there must be caution, there must be respect for the fundamental human rights of the arrested person, the re-arrested person, Nnamdi Kanu. And he was quoting the African Charter on
You see this man, very wicked man. This Abati, very wicked human being. He kept saying he will, whenever it comes to Biafra and then Nnamdi Kanu, he will always use this language, Nigeria rearrested him, the terrorist leader, the proscribed terrorist group, Biafra terrorist as the organization, IPOB terrorist leader, a more powerful is the publicity secretary for the so-called proscribed individual. This is always watch him. Rearrest. Ask him, is that how your papa teach you the arrest person? No, see, look at his face. Like Obasanjo.
Human and people's rights. Some other people have quoted Section 36 of the 1999 Constitution, which deals with the right to fair hearing. So, I mean, under the rules, if you are, an arrested person and you have been arraigned in court, you are entitled to a lawyer. You are entitled to get lawyers of your own. Your offense must be read to you in a language in which you understand, and all the relevant enabling laws, either under the ACJA or the procedures of court, will apply. So those who are saying that his rights must be respected, I don't think they will expect in any case that his rights will be violated. Okay. There are persons who are also saying, out of emotional concern, that he must not die in custody. The law will not deliberately, a court of law will not say, go and kill somebody in custody for extrajudicial purposes. That would be in itself a contradiction. So those are the concerns, but where persons like Senator Abaribe and others are coming from. Second, there are persons who have been saying, well, you have arrested Nnamdi Kanu and others, they are facing a trial. Persons in other parts of the country who are also guilty of impunity must also be arraigned before the court. Well, yes, it's a nice point to make, but the truth of the matter is that, you have arrested me for this offense, but I know one Mr. So in a part of the country who has committed a similar offense. Why are you leaving him alone? And I'm the one you are facing. No, that's not.
All right, thank you very much. I know it is very easy for us to just embrace most of what they say and be like, they have a point, but I need to point out something before you guys proceed. Even the comments that I read from Twitter, where they said, okay, you have marshaled all the resources you have to get Nnamdi Kanu. Now, we need you to marshal those same resources and get those other people. But to us, we'll be like, yeah, that is true. How can you do that to our leader and you allow us right? But no is no. Why I said no is this. There is a fundamental flaw. And you see how they continue to equate the both of them in order to give Nigeria a denier, a way to deny or not take responsibility for their action. Nnamdi Kanu, how can you tell me that they should go get him by all costs, break international law, break local law, break disrespect his human right, torture him, kidnap him against his will, keep him in dungeon for how long now? So you see, we cannot forget those parts that it was not done the right way. The right way is what is happening to the Bigins chairman, who is going through due process in court in the same Kenya. It's not a different person. The only thing you can use to equate that of our leader is the Bigins executive, who is going through the process of repatriation, or so I don't know what they call it. My head is full at the moment, and a little bit I'm kind of agitated too with the whole circumstances surrounding this topic we're talking about. So Starman, I want you guys to really talk about it, but please do not forget to put in the angle of DOS, where the lady said the dreams and the aspiration of the Biafran people has been shattered because of the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu, and how DOS almost made it true. Let's start with Royce as regular. Then we'll come to you, Starman.
I don't even know. I think maybe these media people, they work with the DOS. Anyway, they work with the DOS because Imam Powerful was the one dishing out information when they arrested our leader. So I think they understood everything that went on during that period. If not, why would they say the abducting of Nnamdi Kanu will put a stop to the Biafra agitation, or it's going to slow down the Biafra agitation? How did they come to that? final analysis. That's to let you know that they have some vital information that we don't have. And listening to Abati and the rest of them, I wish they can play this video to them so that they can see the analysis and what they said, and let them listen to themselves now, because what they are saying now is now even way different from what they've been saying before. If you ask someone like Abati about Biafra, he doesn't even want to say it. He doesn't want to hear it. He's too biased. He's too biased. Let's start and go, man. Feeling sleepy a bit.
Well, Royce, if you're tired and you're ready to go, you can let us know. And the program, we still have a few more minutes, but we got it. You've been of great analysis. Starman.
Yeah, Royce. Yeah, thanks for staying up, because you're on the other side of the world. The down under, as they call it here in Britain. Yeah, you see this Abati guy and Rufai. What was that name PM gave him one time?
I can't remember. I know he gave him a nickname, but I can't remember.
Abi. But yeah, look, if you, I'm not saying you should. I mean, it's not that. I mean, people. I mean, they're always on the silly channel every day. So next time you watch their channel, you see how I was watching them, how they were sitting in their studio. So there was Abati, then Rufai, then what's that name?
OG.
I can't remember.
OG, okay.
Yeah, okay. And I remember looking at them thinking, why Abati just looks like a gorilla, Rufai just looks like a chimpanzee, and Okwe looks like baboon, baboon with black hair. Seriously, man. Yeah, it's just a studio with 3 apes talking rubbish. You see, people need to understand that thing. I don't know if people saw that interview where they were asking Lai Mohammed about Boko Haram and IPOB. And Lai Mohammed said that IPOB was more of a danger to Nigeria because it could break Nigeria.
You can imagine, I remember that broadcast very, very well.
I remember when I heard that. And he's Minister of Information. God damn it.
See, there's a University of Lies in that Abuja. That Ministry of Information, that's the University of Lies. Lai Mohammed is the principal. And you see all those Loretta Onochie, Femi Addition, all of them graduated from that university.
And they have new sophisticated ones now, like that Nglan. They have people like our Nonuga, Ngele. You see how they are trying. So they have the more sophisticated ones that know how to speak English now, that know how to talk fast.
And you know that Ngele is a half caste. So the lie is
he's Arabian. He's Arabian. He's half Arab. That's why they are trying to Arabize Nigeria.
That guy, if you don't know, his mouth is just sweet. You just fall for everything.
And he's married to an Igbo woman. Just to put that, just for disclosure, he's married to an Igbo woman.
Hey.
He's from South. From Ijo. I think Ijo.
Hi, man. Anyway, yeah. So that's the university. I mean, that very statement Lai Mohammed made should tell you right there. That's why they'll do anything at all costs, to I mean, Boko Haram has been killing for years. I mean, how many people Nnamdi Kanu kill? Well, because of, see, when they call IPOB, or when they tag the IPOB terrorists, you need to understand that to the One Nigeria project, it was real terrorism. It was like, what? Who is threatening? He's threatening his terror. He is threatening our project. That's why they go. Because, see, you need to understand that Nnamdi Kanu, his word on the radio was their terror. That thing terrorized them. You know, for Lai Mohammed, I mean, how do you come on TV to blow that kind of lie? That IPOB, who up until then was only carrying flag, was more dangerous than Boko Haram in front of 200 million people. I mean, you are not only insulting the so-called Nigerians, you are disrespecting the dead, people that have died at the hands of Boko Haram and headsmen. But yet, that's what Lai Mohammed said boldly, and he defended it. That IPOB means the end of Nigeria. And yeah, I was listening to Rufai as he was blabbing. He said that he's sure now that they've been able to achieve this, paraphrasing him. Now that they've been able to achieve this, their kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu, they should now be able to kidnap all the other people. People are equivating. Now that you've grabbed Nnamdi Kanu, why haven't you grabbed Shekau? I wish Rufai can watch this interview now and answer us why the zoo contraption still hasn't grabbed those people. He said he's sure now they can now grab them. Just because he wants to. Yeah, they selected those tweets, of course, to try and equate the two things as if IPOB equals Boko Haram. But even then, you know, how many years later, they can't defend their statements. Oh, they are sure they'll grab them now. Yeah, right. I mean, these guys, they are, I mean, you know, brown envelope journalists. It's like Onyechi was calling to our attention the other day when we were all discussing how he's noticed that every zoo media, they seem to release their news articles at the same time with exactly the same title. And if you read the stories, it's just copy and paste. And I said to him, of course, see, when you're a brown envelope journalist, you're as lazy as they come. In fact, the hardest thing you do as a brown envelope journalist is opening the brown envelope. That's the hardest work you do. Otherwise, it's copy and paste. Just, okay, see, the person bringing the brown envelope, he will bring you a breakdown of the story he wants you to publish now, Abi. You too, you read it. But because you are so lazy, you just copy and paste. Click, mouse. Click. That's it. Copy, paste. The hardest work they do is opening that, with respect to that whole transaction of being, okay, yeah, take this brown envelope, publish this article. The hardest work they do is opening the brown envelope and counting the chicken change inside. You know. Anyway.
Thank you very much. We have one of our brother here on the screen that just joined us, Biafra son, Biafra bro. Welcome to the Broadcast brother.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings, World Greater. Greetings, Starman. Greetings, Royce.
Welcome, welcome, Biafra bro.
Yeah, I've been trying to join since, but I've been like trying to comment, but no one was hearing me. I don't know, maybe now everyone can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you very well now.
Loud and clear, one name.
So we go back to the topic. I thank my analysts for their analysis. It has been a wonderful show so far with their breadth of knowledge and all. So I want to play the reaction of Tinubu's news media. I actually want to play it because Tinubu is in power, and I believe if he does not watch any other news media, he does watch his own. So let's listen, and I'd like to hear you guys' opinion. But what I would do is I will not let it play because it's kind of long. I'll let it play to a certain stage, and I'll stop it, and we'll talk about it, and we'll continue.
Debates over its credibility abound. A report by the United States Department of State says the outcome of the 2023 general election reflects the will of the people, despite widespread irregularities. This was.
Sorry, this is not the one I needed to put. While I was in a rush, I brought up
of issues with Jide. Here we'll talk about actions and inaction those who shape our political and national landscape and how these impact us positively or otherwise. I'm Ibrahim Shita. Today on the show, U.S. accuses federal government of violating Nnamdi Kanu's rights as World Igbo Congress demands his immediate release. In the course of the program, we take our questions, but first subscribe to our YouTube channel and drop your questions in the comment section. It is important to mention that we can only read comments with human names and the ones based on the subject matter. I have joining me via Zoom the master himself, Babajide Kolado Dutoji. Good to see you again, Bikio.
Good evening, Ibrahim. Good evening to our esteemed viewers.
Right, let's get right into the heart of the matter. Aloy Ejimako, who is the lawyer to the detained leader Nnamdi Kanu, that's the leader of the proscribed indigenous peoples of Biafra, has called on the Nigerian government to end his trial after the United States acknowledged that he was a victim of arbitrary arrest. Mr. Kanu has been in detention since rendition in 2021. How do you react to this latest development?
Yes, it's significant coming from a very influential world power. We never always agree with the Americans, but no matter how much you hate Nnamdi Kanu, his guts, his outspokenness, and the fact that he took up arms against his country, you've got to admit that his rendition from Kenya to Nigeria was in total disobedience of international law, disobedience to international law. It is clear that the global convention guiding extradition of people was not followed. You cannot possibly bring a person from another country without that person undergoing an extradition trial. That didn't happen in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. He was manhandled and forcibly brought to Nigeria. And that is the point that the Americans are making. Remember, this position by the Americans was expressed in the 2023 U.S. Country Report on Human Rights. So it's not just Nigeria that they are talking about. They are looking at human rights violations across the world and how countries generally deal with the matter of human rights. So the Americans were convinced that the manner in which Nnamdi Kanu was brought to Nigeria was illegal and clearly against the Geneva Convention, clearly against international law. So they affirmed in that report that Nnamdi Kanu was a victim of illegal arrest. That is the way the law looks at it. No matter how we felt, how desperate we wanted to put him on trial for all that he did against his own nation. The law is the law. As I've always said, and as I said to our friends in the EFCC, you may hate the way an order was given against you, but you know what to do. You got to get a superior court to set aside that order, or get the same court that gave that order to listen to you, listen to your argument, and then reverse an order that it's earlier made. The law is clear on how you can bring a fugitive from another country to his home country, where you want to put him on trial. He has to undergo an extradition trial there before he can be sent to your country. The Americans wanted to put Buruji Kashamu on trial. Buruji Kashamu was undergoing an extradition trial here in Nigeria before he met his death. So, looking at the law, purely looking at the law, the Americans were right. They were convinced that Nigeria didn't do the right thing in that circumstance. And so they made it clear in the US 2023 country reports on human rights. So, and that is what Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer has latched upon to say, look, this whole thing, this matter deserves to be looked at a second time. And the lawyer is saying that, look, subjecting Nnamdi Kanu to a horrendous extradition was wrong, and that it makes sense for Nigeria to, at this time, put an end to his trial. Put an end to his trial and let him and release him from detention. Barrister Loy Ejimako also praised the U.S. government for what he described as diplomatic courage. Diplomatic courage in making his position clear on the manner in which the Nigerian government connived with their Kenyan counterparts to illegally bring Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria so that he can face trial. So, and again, the World Igbo Congress has also demanded that in the light, I want to quote them now, because they are not convinced that Nnamdi Kanu can get justice with the way things are going. And I want to just quote the World Igbo Congress. It says, in the heart of this discourse is a man who dared to voice the aspirations of his people, aspiration for self-determination, a principle enshrined in the Geneva Convention and recognized as a fundamental human right. In the light of these transgressions against justice and fairness, we are compelled to advocate for a political solution, a solution that transcends the narrow confines of legal battles and ventures into the broader reality of human compassion and national unity. I've always argued that, look, it makes sense to find a political solution to this matter. And I've said repeatedly that Mr. President Bola Tinubu, during his campaigns, also said that he will be prepared to engage the dissidents in the southeast with a view to finding a solution to the problem that they constitute. I still believe that dialogue should not be foreclosed. But as I've always said, it is not a one-way thing. I believe that true peace stems from dialogue, and the path to justice and reconciliation is a path that Nigeria can take at this time. I also want to believe that Nnamdi Kanu is largely a different person now, because I saw his countenance in court on the day that he said if he was released, he will put an end to the needless killings in the southeast. I believe that based on his popularity, he can actually go a long way in helping to put an end to those killings, because the killers have actually been dropping his name. So if he's released as a part of a political solution to the crisis, then we may see peace return to the southeast. But as I've always said, it's not a one-way thing. Nnamdi Kanu can only be released, not unconditionally, but on the condition, on the firm condition and conviction that he will no longer take up arms against his country, and that he will respect and affirm the indivisibility of Nigeria as a country. The territorial integrity of Nigeria, he has to respect, and the primacy of Nigerian unity, he has to accept that at this time, he will give up all his efforts to dismember our country. Now, as I've said before, America is a country of 50 states. America is the size of West Africa. Yet, none of the confederal states, none of the states that make up America would dare say it is pulling out.
Okay, I thank you all very much. Before we proceed to call on our Diokpa is here, Vin Maswe. I hope he's the same person. Okay, I hope so. But I welcome Mazi, Chukwumeze, and others, and our viewers listening. I welcome you all to this show. We've been on this show for 1 hour, 43 minutes now, and we have a couple of more minutes to go. And hope you guys stay with us as we continue our analysis on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu illegal detention. Starman, before I call on you, please, I'd like to hear from Vin Maswe, if we can allow Vin. Mazi, Chukwumeze, if you can mute yourself, I'll call you next after Mazi, Vin.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I've been trying to get him, but this I'm just trying to learn this, but I just mute my mic now. I had to go download the app, but yeah, I'll mute my mic. Wait till you call on me.
Thank you very much, because I thank you for doing that, because we'll be using this media more often rather than using Twitter Space, because Twitter Space doesn't give us the liberty to show videos and documents and all those other stuff. Maxwell, are you there?
Hold on.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. This is my first time coming to this World Greatest, platform. I never knew that this, has been on existence. As you are all aware, I have not been coming out on Space because Space also, blocked me for all the all the comments that I've been making and the truth that I've been saying.
Sorry, this sound like Mazi Awubini. Is this Mazi Awubini?
Yes, sir.
That is the great Diokpa itself.
Okay. Yeah. I've been looking for you.
We've asked of you. We talked about you on our private.
Okay. Thank you for coming in. Thank you so much. Yeah, we need you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. May God bless all of you for what I do not know how I am going to thank God and glorify God for everything, for keeping the fire burning when others has gone to sleep. I do not know how to thank God for having Nemoches and Nnamoches like you that say no to the the atrocities that is being meted on our people in our homeland Biafra, where my mother come from. I am here to support, and this is the reason why I speak the way I speak in any platform that I had the opportunity to go into. Because of my, the way I speak it just like the way it is. In Ghana here they say, see something and say something. Say it as it is. And that is why we are where we are today. The massive corruption and killing that is going on in the Zoological Republic is minimal in Ghana here. You have no right, even if you are a security operative, you have no right to take the life of anybody. If you take the life of anybody in this country, be you the president, you will be dealt with, unlike in the zoo, typical of zoo. And that is the reason why responsible men and women, Biafran people said, no, we cannot continue with this kind of barbaric and vampiric system. We have to get out of it before it is too late, before we are consumed. These were the things that I say in every platform on the space. I speak it and I do it the way it is. They were not happy with me. My great Nemoches and my Namoches that are on this platform today, the S blocked me, and up to now, I still cannot have access to it. All the members, those that were with me, those that were following me, that were over 3,000-4,000, that were listening to me. Anytime I speak, they look at what I have spoken, they verify those that wants to verify, and they will now go and now begin to follow me. This is what I've been doing. They saw it as a threat to them, as an insider who was one of those people that were operating in the secrecy. The special force, we operated in the secrecy, in the secret. What we say is what will stand. And who we try to eliminate is who we are going to eliminate. And they don't want us to speak and come out to speak it. And make sure that Biafrans are not victims of this wickedness of the zoo, and their collaborators, those that I call the globalists, just like my great Nemoche in the London always used to say. I will not mention her name here. The globalists that have economic interest on our land, on the resources that is on the land. They have invested in multiples of billions of dollars. How do you think that those people will allow you to go by writing petition and papers? You need some sort of pressure to mount on these people, and that was what Nnamdi Kanu succeeded in doing. They were angry, they were afraid, and they went in using those that surround him to kidnap him. So my people, we must continue. I know that I always speak for a long time whenever I came, whenever I come in the midst of my people. But you must permit me, I beg of you to permit me to flow like I always flow. Coming to the Interpol and the reaction of the America. Most of us were in the department of the Directorate of Military Intelligence, Special Force, and so on and so forth, guarding the presidency, checkmating everything through cyber means and all the rest of them. We were there. Now I ask this question. Did America just woke up today to find out that Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped? Have they not heard the cry of the Prime Minister? Have they not heard the cry of the media warriors? Have they not heard? Don't they have embassy in Nigeria that reports to them what we call in the military SITREP, situation report of the happenings on the land? Are they not getting those informations? Why did they keep mute till now before they begin to speak? Is it because that America has just spoken? Then the stupid Interpol in Nigeria, whose name was used to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu, are today coming out to deny, to extricate themselves from the demonic and the international crime committed against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya. Why have they just woken up? Were they not there when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was going to and fro in their courts? Were they not there? Even if they were not there, didn't they see it? Were they not there when the United Nations People Rights or something gave Nigeria 6 months to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? Didn't they hear it? Why are they allowing an innocent man to languish in a place that is not meant for him as someone whose only crime is to fight for the liberation of their own people? Why are they keeping him there? They released Wadume, a known terrorist that were kidnapping and collecting ransom from people, made multiples of billions of naira from that profession, kidnapping of innocent people. Have they not allowed him to go? Have they not allowed Sowore to go, the one that are accused of insurrection and revolution or whatever they call it? Have they not? Sunday Igboho, is he still in prison? If not for what Togo or Benin did, Beninois did, maybe they could have also kidnapped Sunday Igboho the same way they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. He followed due. They were forced to follow due process. And he came against them. Sunday Igboho is today a free man walking. What did Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did? What did he do? Even their court has said, allow this man to go. They still refuse. They don't want him to go. What are we going to do to make sure that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is removed? Or are we going to continue to wait for God Almighty Chukwu Okike Abiama to come to our rescue? Haven't we done enough? The contributions and everything that we are making, haven't we put more work? Our Chukwu Okike Abiama should come and help us before our people are finished. Because these people, Nigeria has the power to kill everybody, and the world will keep quiet because they have economic and financial interest in that country. That is the reason why they lie there, why they are clean. Go and look at what the United Nations are doing for Rohingya Muslims in Burma. Look at what they are saying about the Israeli-Hamas war. A provoked attack against Israel, the state of Israel. Go and see, even some African nations are suing Israel in ICC, going there to go and fight. Whereas right here, especially South Africa, and that is where I am disappointed with Malema, Julius Malema. You are there in South Africa. What is the distance between South Africa and Nguru State or the northern part of Nigeria? How many of our people are being killed in those places by Boko Haram, ISIS, ISWAP, armed Fulani terrorists? How many times have the South African people see it as a point of duty to call even the imposter that was there before to order? Where are they? I would take this call and everything until the only time I would take a United States serious is when they follow this report with action. It took only one US congressman to stand for Sowore that made Nigeria to begin to tremble. And I believe that our people can do so. And for this guy that is speaking here, Jide, that is claiming that he really went to school, you are calling a freedom fighter someone who was enjoying bail before an intervention, an intervention, an attempt to murder him was made in his house. And in the process, over 28 people were killed, including his own pet, his dog. You are calling him a fugitive. And you are in a country where a high court, your court said that it was illegal to invade his house. And that has been trashed. You still sit in a studio to address him or, try to make him look like a fugitive. What is a fugitive? Was Mazen Nnamdi Kanu running away from committing crime for a crime he committed in Nigeria? The answer is no. What was he fighting? What he was fighting or still fighting even in the dungeon of the DSS today. Is it against the law of the Nigerian, the criminal and the corrupt Nigerian system? The answer is no. Why will educated people like them be making mockery of themselves to us that did not even go the kind of school that they attended? Why? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is going to come out. They hold nothing. They hold nothing. And I shudder to say, whatever they do, no matter where they took Mazen Nnamdi, where they take Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to, I mean to say, it will not hold water. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will conquer them and conquer them today, conquer them tomorrow, and conquer them forever. And we are going to go with our Biafra. My Nemoches and my Namoches that are here. Thank you so much for devoting your time to listen to me. May Chukwu Okike Abiama bless you. I rest here.
What was greatest?
All right. We are welcome back from that Okenwadela that is today here again with us. I thank you for coming, and Helen, I thank you also for coming. Helen, you're okay. You have the mic. Actually, I know most people must have participated in this program. That was why I never wanted to share link. The program is so interesting that honestly, you don't need to miss any beat, any second from the videos. All of them are interesting from beginning. The world greatest took our time to compile the videos, or when we tell people that to to get videos, pack them one after the other, begin to bring them up one after the other to highlight it. It didn't know easy. I was just watching. I saw how he was organizing. He will bring out this. I said, no, I don't want to. I will bring this. It's not easy. Honestly, I commend him. And I guess this should be the first time he is doing this. I got to see this on the Twitter space. On the Twitter, not space. On Twitter, I think he streamed live on Twitter. So that was where I saw this video. I really don't know his channel on the YouTube. So that's a nice work. So Helen, you have the microphone before we continue.
Mazi, good evening. Thank you very much for giving me this space to speak once again. I really appreciate your good work. I wouldn't have even said it better than what I have heard from our uncle Maxwell. May God bless him. Because he finished everything that I was having in mind to say. He finished everything. That is the zoo for you. You see how they are using the journalists to twist the story. And they have used the journalists to twist that country, that it has brought the country down to their own news. But yet they still continue. And that idiot that has his people has been taken over in the northern part, he's thinking that the way they chase and buy their people, that is how our people will be left alone to be quiet. How can defending yourself is a statement of you picking a gun against your state? Did our leader pick a gun and go to Yoruba land and start killing people there? Or did he pick the gun and go to North and start killing people there? How on earth will somebody just come out and say he will not, for political solution, he's going to surrender, that he will not pick a gun against the state? When did he pick a gun against the state? when he only said these people should be equipped for protection, that the Fulani Marauder terrorists coming from the Sahel and Arab world, they are coming to kill and maim his people, which was already going on before he said, no, if our governors will not do it, I have to protect my people. Did he pick up gun and start killing people in the east or in the south? The ESN that he found remains in the forest. They were fighting in the forest, combating with the Fulani terrorists who has come to kill and maim in our land. Somebody who is not an indigenous of the so-called geographical location. You can imagine that. And this man that is overfeeding is telling us that, yes, for him to be granted a political solution, he needs to drop his agitation. He needs to try to split the country. He needs to do the... No! If you have yielded to the slavery of the North, to the slavery of the Fulani, we are separate people. We cannot yield to them. That is the fact. We will not yield our land, our culture. We will not yield it to the uncircumcised Fulanis who has come from Sahel to come and take over our people. No way. And that you can never refer that as someone who has picked a gun against the state. No way. That is a wrong statement. That I had, and I was angry about that. Thank you, Mazi. Let me use my mic and give to others. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Helen. Okay, Wadala, are you there?
Hello, Mazu Chooks.
I won't be now.
Mazu, go.
Come here, anything I will answer. No problem.
Sorry, I beg.
As long as you know them, all them.
Sorry, I beg. You see, I am very, very stunned. I'm listening to the program that we had yesterday. I think this is what you played. You played the program that we had yesterday.
Yeah, I've been playing it because
I'm looking.
Interesting.
Yes, I'm trying to look. I'm trying to go.
Last minute.
Yes. I'm trying to listen to what I was saying. Do you know that these people did not allow my voice to come out?
How? No, your voice came out very clearly.
Really?
Your voice was out. Yeah.
Very clear.
Okay.
Very clear.
For me, I was okay. As I was listening to it now, it was breaking in some.
That should be your network, because even as you are speaking now, it is breaking. So it should be from your end.
Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I can hear. I can hear you clearly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my Nemoche. You know, my women, our mothers and sisters, the ladies, the young girls, I love them so much because of the history of what our women, our mothers have done for us when it comes to fighting for what is right in Biafra land. I respect you people, and I will always be humble, but I will not make you God, but you are the representative of a female God, if there is something like that on earth. And I say, may God continue to bless all of you, our women, both in the comment section, those that are doing the needful, and those that are contributing, fighting one way or the other to make sure that my mother's ancestral land is not a foregone alternative. Thank you so much, Mazuko. You see, as for me, it is today Biafra, tomorrow Biafra, in the future Biafra, Ore Biafra, Eke Biafra, Nkwo Biafra, Anafo Biafra. That is what I represent. I don't care what anybody says about me supporting the exit of my mother's ancestral land and the people of Biafra out of the imperialist nation called Nigeria. Nothing will stop me. Like I told you people before, I have a daughter and I have a wife in Ghana. My father is from Upper East region. My mother is a Biafran. I will never be at rest when my mother's ancestral people, my Namoches, my cousins, nephews, and nieces are shedding tears in the contraption called Nigeria because they said they don't want to remain in that country. Hence, the torture that they are going through. Ndị Igbo anyị, ndị ngwa, sila ọbụ anya bewa, imi ebewa. As long as my eye is in Nigeria, controlled by Nigeria as we speak, in the Nigerian system as we speak, while we are fighting to leave them, whenever they are crying, the nose in Ghana, that is me, will be bleeding, and I will never be at rest. I won't be at rest. I will never be at rest. There is nothing that I'm going to eat that is going to satisfy me or make me happy because my mother's ancestral people are crying in the zoological republic simply because they want to leave that contraption. Look, we will continue to speak, whether YouTube, whether Facebook, whether space allow us. We will continue to speak until the world hears us. Just like Nnamdi Kanu said, something will cause them to hear us. Something will make them speak out like they are speaking out now. And whichever way they speak, I would have loved them to follow it with action. How will I like them? Why will I see them? Why will I rejoice when they follow it with action? I will rejoice because they are countering the system, the corrupt system that they put in place, the criminal system that they put in place, and appoint their stooges to continue to do their bidding while our people die in misery. I do not see the reason why any sensible country in this world will look at what Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for and say and keep mute when that man is being mistreated. I don't see the reason, Mazugo. I don't see the reason. When you go back to the time of slavery and waiting, they kept quiet while our people were being sold left, right, and center. The same thing is happening now because of oil and gas. This people doesn't want Nigeria to break or disintegrate. While majority of them, I have seen the Duduas writing letters, but I will tell them, writing letters will not free you from the hands that is holding you. Because something is there that they are benefiting from. Where a child is crying and pointing finger, if the mother is not there, the father is there. These globalists are benefiting from what is happening in Nigeria. And that is the reason why they don't want people like Nnamdi Kanu to stand up and speak the way he was speaking before. But glory be to God. Like Igbo people say, no matter how you hide the smoke, cover it with a pot, the smoke will surely find a way to come out. And I Say, God, I ask God to bless all of you. I ask God to maintain the strength that He has given to you and give you more. I ask God to enlarge your pockets. I ask God to make sure that wherever you are making your ends meet, that is helping to multiply, that our people will know peace in their own land. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. I will stay here and listen to the rest of my people, Nemoches and Namoches, that will come and speak. May God bless you.
There were Max. Actually, this program, the program was so good. I prefer we continue listening to this program because it's very educative. Their contributions, the clips they share, super. I commend and respect the organizer of that program. I've forgotten his name. What Greatest, I think, is his name. I commend him for the wonderful work. So let's continue listening.
Where are my people? Are they here?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
claim to be so-called free world, global power. To me, those people are not global powers. Those people are opportunists. Those people are people that continue to eat from the proceeds of blood that have been massacred. People's blood that have been massacred from time to time, generation to generation. So, this responsibility to get our freedom lies in our hand. Yeah. Why do you think America is coming out and talking? Why do you think Britain is trying to have like a discussion in their parliament? It is because of they have ignored us for so long, and they've seen that we are not stopping. Initially, they were ignoring us. From ignorance, they kidnapped our leader, and they started to laugh at us. To laugh at us. And they thought that in as much as they are ignoring us and laughing at us, and look at these people, who are you to challenge us or to stop us from our proceeds from Africa or from your country? Let's see how long we are going to last, because there's one stigma about a black man, most especially when you're a black African. Your life, you have not seen light. You've been bastardized. Everything has been taken away from you. You know that you cannot stand test of time due to your poverty and hunger mentality. But these people now are beginning to realize that this breed of people are a different one. These ones will not stop at anything until they get their freedom. And now they are saying that they cannot ignore us anymore and they cannot laugh at us anymore. They have to start fighting us. Now they're fighting us and they say that the fight is not even working. So now what they are trying to do is what I would call damage control, to see if they can salvage any face, because they have failed. They have all proven to be that they're a failure. All that thing they preach, human rights, this, right for the people and all that. We have all come to realize that all those things are all lies and lies and lies. So now, it is because of our consistency, our resilience, our never say attitude. And when they thought that they have seen it all, we continue to do more things that keep baffling them. Like, where are these people getting this idea from? That even the things we are doing, is even a threat to them in their own country, because we are bringing out new ways of how people should govern themselves, of how what they call democracy that we started before they stole it away from us should operate. And every day I wake up, I thank Chukwukika Abiyama for our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, because it is him that brought this reawakening. And at the same time, I feel so bad because he's going through so much. But one thing I need us to understand is the plight our supreme leader is going through is very significant for what we are doing. And this plight of our leader is going to be one stone that is going to kill many multiple evil birds. You see those people called United Kingdom, most especially that monarchy and the government. If evil is going on in this world, at least they are responsible for 92% of it. You can see what is going on in Palestine and Israel. They are the architects. They will not come out and say the real truth. They will ignore it, keep quiet. What is going on in Ukraine? They are the same architects. So, in as much as we are emancipating ourselves, we are bringing back light to the black race and to the common man. Also, at the same time, we are eradicating the greatest masterminder of evil, genocide in the history of mankind, which is the United Kingdom. And it's high time they go down. It's high time they face their own, that same sword they used to destroy other people. It's high time they face it. So, with the way things have escalated to, they cannot ignore it and they cannot escape it, because they committed the greatest mistake by allowing their own citizens to languish in that place for a very long time. And by so therefore doing, as much as you know, your citizen was kidnapped by this terrorist state. Even your diplomats have said things in the past about the kidnapping of your citizen, that you're sending delegate, that you are doing this, you are doing that. Still, you will still come out and be saying that you're building relations with Nigeria. You are doing business with Nigeria. So you see, they are open-handedly, by their own self, shot themselves in the foot. So this is one destruction that they will never escape. And trust me, by the time we are done with the zoo, and by the time we are done with the thing, and by the time our leader come out, and by the time that Biafra has been declared, the United Kingdom will become a laughing stock in the face of the whole world. So that is it on that side. And on the aspect of the zoo, you see, the zoo is a place whereby you see people who claim to be educated, but at the same time, they become educated illiterate. You see a journalist who's supposed to carry out what you call investigative journalism. You are supposed to visit the site of every incident to get first-hand information. Or even if you cannot get that first-hand information, but get that first-hand experience as a victim of whatever is happening there. But they don't do that. All they do is talk and speak. And I can tell you that some of their news, they even get it from us. You can see that bloated pig called Babajide Osutojo speaking from both sides of his mouth. So as much as what Nigeria did is a crime by illegally rendition Nnamdi Kanu to the zoo. At the same time, this is somebody that is speaking up against his own country. First of all, you don't have the right.
Brother, your mic is coming in and out. We do hear you. It goes low, it comes up. Is there a way you can adjust a little bit?
Can
Still adjust some more. No, it's worse now. If you're using a headphone, is there a way you can take off your headphone?
Am I coming out?
Perfect. You're coming out well.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah. I had to take the headphones off. So, in as much as you said that this man pick up that, in as much as I said that Nigeria illegally kidnapped this man and take him to their zoo to try him in their court illegally. At the same time, you say that he's picking up arms against his own country. Firstly, you have no right to decide for somebody because there's what you call self-giving human rights, freedom of association. Me as an individual, I can decide to belong to where I want to belong to. I can decide or intend to join any association I want to associate, or I can decide to identify with any group or any association I want to. On numerous occasions, even with one of your so far A-list journalists, that is, you can say, okay, he's more better than you, which is in the name of Dele Momodu. In an interview that went viral, he said it openly clear, and I know a lot of you watched that interview, that he is not in Nigeria. Even his birth certificate reads as a Biafran. But still, you come out ignorantly, foolishly, saying he's picking up arms against his own state. So automatically, it just shows that this is a country of grievous violation of human rights. Even when journalists is supposed to bring awareness to the public about the ills going on in the society or even in the government, and that same journalist is coming to tell you openly to abuse a person's given human rights. So that just shows you that these people are so foolish. And I want to ask that journalist, you see, it is very easy to be smart. And also it is very easy to sound very foolish. All you need to be smart is common sense. Look at a situation. That's why till eternity, no man can be greater than Chukwu Okike Abiyama. A man can manipulate and try to create something. But you see, when it comes to that aspect of rational thinking, no man can put it in any human being. It comes from God. Even the AI you see today, you cannot trust it when it comes to rational thinking. Because there was a time in the US Army, US military base, that they tried to see if they can test the AI to send drones. And he ended up coming back catastrophically. So, like I said, common sense is not common. You can look at the whole situation and you can say, okay, this thing that is going on is very wrong. But at the same time, you come back to contradict yourself again. I want to ask that man, before the picking up of arms and the illegal rendition of our leader, which one precedes first? Because you cannot tell me somebody who you have incarcerated illegally is picking up arms against a state. You fail to address the main issue. You keep on calling ESN. ESN has been disbanded because of your evil agenda to hide the fact that there's no war going on in the zoo. Because when you mention that name, Biafra Liberation Army, it rings bell that, wait a minute, oh, is there a state within a state? Is there a people that can stay within the state or the failed state of the zoo and create an army and a government? So that's the hypocrisy of this journalist. And the reason why you see that they are coming out in one way or the other, speaking from two sides of their mouth to try and see if they can do damage control or trying to see if they can save some face, is because they know that even their license as a journalist is at risk. Of course, we know in the world body, they have a body that controls international journalism. So when you find one thing, you can be tried internationally. Because when we start our madness, all the powers that be will be forced to save face in one way or the other. And these idiots that call themselves journalists will be affected. But like I say, we don't care about what they say or whatever they want to talk or however they want to think. Because if they can stop us, they would have stopped us a long time ago. But they cannot stop us. We dictate the pace. The freedom is in our own hand, and it's we that will get that freedom. The only thing that I can say is, are we intensifying our efforts? Are we supporting? Are we doing what we need to do? Because with how far we have come, it is certain that we are going to get this freedom. So in essence, all I just want to say is, America is speaking today because of what we are doing. Britain is speaking today because of what we are doing. They are all talking today because of what we are doing. And the more we do, the more they will continue to talk until we get Biafra. And just to remind you, Starman AI, the name that he was looking for, that was given to that idiot on Arise by our Prime Minister, is called Ape Face Abati. So I just say, let me just put that out there.
I knew it was something to do with ape. But isn't it uncanny how, especially Abati and Ruben, they just look like gorilla and chimpanzee.
I look at the other lady there, that so-called Abiola's daughter. You see, and these people, they always shoot themselves in the foot. She's still making reference to her father. Whereas at the same thing, at the end of the day, the same thing your father was fighting for, in as much your father too is a corrupt man, it's the same thing that is still going on today. And it's the same thing you are still making reference to. And somebody is still trying to fight again in line of that same thing that your father fought for. And you are criticizing that person, making reference to your father, the same thing that your father said. So don't you see that these people are all mad? They are all inconsequential. They are all lunatic. They have no brain. So the need for Biafra is next to life existential, because every day in a day I don't meet less than 50 to 100 people, if not more than. And I see what these so-called globalists are pushing into the society. And this is something that when you see it, you know that the end goal is destruction. And that's the more reason we need to get this Biafra. I see every time on YouTube, on TV, Elon Musk coming out talking about people investing in lithium. Where are they getting that lithium? In Africa. At the end of the day, in order for them to have their hands on those lithium, they will still have to kill people. Genocide will still have to go on. And that is the kind of thing he's saying, that for you to have a proven track success of wealth, people should go into investment because they are seeing that all eyes is being on them as the corporate entity because of we are bringing awakening. People are waking up. It's the same thing going on in Congo today. And for the likes of Malema, you see, you can start a freedom fighting initially, genuine. Then as time goes on, you start to, because of maybe the little milestones you're making is getting into your head, you start to deviate, or maybe you start to get carried away. One thing I want to say to Malema, in politics, no permanent enemy, no permanent friend. The fact that Arafat supported South Africa during the time of the apartheid regime, even with Biafrans, we supported South Africa. Mandela had a safe haven in Biafra land when he was being chased. Doesn't mean that the Palestine of the old is not the current day Palestine. So as time change, as new event occurs, you as a rational thinker, that's why I keep saying rational thinking, should evolve your stance and mindset with the occurrence of events as it happens. But in as much as you are evolving that your stance and opinion with the events taking place, you should make sure that whatever you're standing for should be the right thing. The problem between Palestine and Israel, how did it happen? All of a sudden, they say they are talking about 1948, Israel came and took a land. But has anybody talked about what they used to call British Palestine? How did British Palestine come into existence? So that's why for Black Africa to be free, you have to go back to the center where it all started, which is Biafra land. You cannot attend to situations at the middle or maybe at the surface because it will not cure. The freedom of the apartheid regime in South Africa is like attending to the problem of blacks in the surface. That's why even after the apartheid regime was sent away, blacks are still suffering because they only had political freedom but not economic freedom. But they don't know that it is the economic freedom that influences the political freedom because this economic class, they create things called shadow parties that they use to influence political affairs. So the only place that the genuine freedom will come from, and I will not blame Malema, maybe he's not informed too. Understand? Because there's one thing about when you go to that United Kingdom to that study, if not that you are a special person or the hand of God is upon you, you might learn everything you want to learn and still come out looking
Mazi, if you can round up in 1 minute, we still have a couple of more videos to go run through, and we'd like to hear from Biafra, bro.
Yeah. So, in essence, what am I saying? All I'm saying is, American can say what they want to say. Britain, United Nations, the whole world can say what they want to say. The freedom lies in our own hands, and that's what our Prime Minister has taught us. That this freedom, it is us that will use our own hands to get it. Are you not shocked how we are creating things, departments, government departments, urban planning, everything for Biafra is set? It is because we understand that the freedom will come from our own self. So let us hacking into this ideology, you understand, and let us continue to push it, support everything, and trust me, you'll sleep in the zoo and wake up in Biafra. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. That was fantastic. Man. We have 535 live viewers. Shout out to all of you on there listening to this program. I'm here with
Wow, wow,
Starman.
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's amazing, my brother. To be honest with you, it's amazing. I can't believe it. And for those of you that are watching, I hope you're taking one or two things away. If you look at the acronym below that is moving, it's about the voting, the self referendum that is going on. If you've not voted, please endeavor to do so. To be able to get the link, click on the Biafra Prime Minister Twitter handle and you see the link. Also, there is going to be a sit at home on the 29th to the 30th of May 2024 in honor of our fallen heroes. So if you have your family members in Nigeria, in the Biafra land who might not be aware, please reach out to them and let them know so they can stock up for that 2 days. Our heroes have paid the ultimate price, and we can do nothing but just to honor them. When Biafra comes, their names will be written on gold placards. But for now, all we can give to them is just to sit at home and marry with our family and reflect on where we've come from, where we are, and where we hope to be. I thank you. And now let's listen to Biafra's Biafra bro. Thank you.
And greetings. I don't really have much to say unless maybe you have some questions you want to direct to me.
For sure, I have questions, but I'll have to come to you on that. Let's hear Starman, but I have questions for you. But my question is gonna help us wrap up the show. So, Starman. You're muted, Starman. Are you there?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, first of all, greetings to Mazi, Chukwumeze, and Awi Boom, and Biafra Bro, and everybody watching as well. I was going to say, just listen to that Jide Otutoju guy, that journalist, that zoo journalist. That guy, I've never liked him. I see him as a snaky character. You know, he's a master of underhand, dirty propaganda. You see how he started, and the answer to the question about America's report. He first started it by first of all
If
painting
any of those
Mazi
states,
Kanu black, that he picked up arms against the state and this and that. So yes, you know, basically he's guilty. But you see how even before he started talking about the America report, he first of all just painted everybody's mind with that lie first. And to show you this man's lack of integrity, as in zero integrity, and also that his tongue is not connected to his brain. This man talks about the Geneva Convention, the so-called Self-Determination Charter. He talks about it, and Nigeria being party to it. And then, just before he cut the video, he was now hammering down on how Nnamdi Kanu, for him to be released, he has to be given conditionality that Nigeria is indivisible. So if Nigeria is indivisible, why were you talking? Why were you acknowledging the right to self-determination? You see the idiot. And this is somebody people will be respecting, so all journalists. You see the clown, look at his face. Talking out of both sides of his mouth. Oh, Geneva Convention from this side. Oh, Nigeria is indivisible from the other side. Like, come on, stay one lane so that the thunder that will strike you will know exactly where to land, idiot. And yeah, you know, like we've discussed several times. In fact, it's been a lot of the topic of our discussions lately. This America report. Yeah, great. It's a bit late, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, first of all, the report is in 2023, 2 years after the whole thing. What? So it took you 2 years to investigate. Oh God! And then we're only hearing about it 1 year later. Really, really. And then okay, after they released the report, what have they done? And like I said, you know, they're very clever. The language they used in that report, instead of kidnap, instead of extraordinary rendition, they said arrest, suggesting that Nnamdi Kanu was guilty somehow. Like we've discussed, this is just language, them appeasing their Nigerian friends. They can't just say, oh, he was extraordinary rendition by the Nigerians. Nigeria go vex for them. And come on, we know America gets, you know, benefits from Nigeria. Them and Britain with their oil shale. You see not them now that is also begging Nigeria to build base in the north since Niger has terminated their contract. So, you know, this is classic playing two sides off against each other. You don't want to offend the Nigerians, but then the evil doings have got so out of hand, you can't pretend you can't see it anymore. So you come out somehow in the middle. Oh, you know, let's not offend the Nigerians. Let's use the language they've been using, arrest. But then, so that they won't be angry that we're calling them out on how the arrest went. Come on. This is Oyibo people's game, white people's game, you know, double talking, double tongue, you know. And they're doing this also as leverage. Because everything they've tried has failed, the momentum for Biafra is getting stronger and stronger. So they don't want to be seen explicitly on one side at the end of it. They want to be seen as, okay, Biafra now comes. They want to be, but we're the ones that acknowledged the illegal arrest, and we're now the ones calling for the seat at the table to talk. Obviously, so that they can now negotiate, but what's in it for us? This is how these Europeans play this game. I don't want to go off on them on this broadcast because.
Well, let's just watch. Let's just continue this. What do you call him now? You want to give him your own nickname? Let's just listen a little bit, then we'll continue the analysis. After that, we'll play the recording of after that, I just want to take the pulse of Nigerians' reaction during the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu when it was fresh. I just want to see their reaction. So after this analysis of this video, that should be the next one, and we'll use questions to round up the session. Mazi, please don't go. I have questions for you, please. All right, let me just play this a little bit, and we'll come back to the analysis on you, Stabber.
Even Alaska, that was not originally part of the US, not even Alaska, can get up and say it wants to pull out of the Union without being resisted. Of course, it will be resisted. So Nigeria is one country put together by providence, and Kanu has to respect that reality, that as a country we are one, and that no effort will be made at its end to try and dismember Nigeria. I'm sure that if he can agree to that, who will agree to that, and President Tinubu is convinced that he will no longer constitute a threat to the corporate existence of Nigeria, the president more than willing to agree to a political solution. It's not in Nigeria alone that we have a kind of political solution of the form that I am advocating. I've always asked for it, and it's my wish that it will come someday. The apartheid regime in South Africa saw Mandela as a very dangerous man. But in the final analysis, they had to agree to bring him out of prison and to even make him president.
That's right.
You know? The same thing for Buthelezi. You know, Buthelezi invariably in a power, in a kind of agreements to share power, a power sharing agreement. Buthelezi, whose men had been killing ANC members, beheading them in public, agreed to make peace, and he became one of the deputy presidents. So I'm convinced that we could get there, but I'm not the president. But if he asks me what I think, as a historian, I know that many countries have been in this situation before, and they embrace the political solution. I've always asked for it. I will not change. I won't stop asking for it at this point.
Right, because some might disagree with you, saying that, Nnamdi Kanu the other day in the court of law, when he was saying that they should give him just, is it 1 minute or 2 minutes or thereabout, that he definitely will put an end to the IPOB, misdemeanor or the crisis they're causing in the southeast, because they believe that Simon Ekpa has taken over the de facto leadership of IPOB, and most importantly, the unknown gunmen, and he appears more brutal than Nnamdi Kanu, as he seems very good at killing the same people. He claimed that he wants to liberate. So, it's possible that, or what we see looks like the indigenous people of Biafra's agitation is way bigger than where Nnamdi Kanu left it. Do you not think so?
Well, perfect. I think we need to pause here a little bit and analyze, because if we allow it go longer, we might forget. So, Starman, if you can analyze this portion we've listened to, even the question, then I would also like to hear Mazi's own take on it too. I don't know if Royce should be sleeping by now, but let's hear you, Starman, on this particular part you just heard before Mazi, then we continue. Starman, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, obviously the zoo journalist sticks out. You see how, he couldn't, I mean, just like his elder Oga journalist, he could not mention Simon Ekpa without first coloring him bad. I mean, I was looking forward to Oga Jide's response, but that section you just played speaks for itself. I don't even know what to say unless people don't have brain. But you can see how this thing is beginning to look like an agenda. Like literally, these people receive instructions before these broadcasts. And as for the journalists, they definitely do get teleprompts. So yeah. The next person can go, man. But that section just spoke for itself.
Mazi, I'd like to get your opinion before I proceed with the video on the premise of the journalist's question and how he has included Mazi Samonet by killing the same people he wished to protect. Mazi Chukwumezi, are you there? Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah. Am I coming out?
Yes, you are.
Okay. The thing is, this journalist is an idiot, because I don't know, these people keep making reference to America, but the way they practice their own system of government is totally different. In America, you have 50 confederating states. In those confederating states, they have the right to referendum if they feel like They don't want to be part of that American Union. And even the president cannot go to a state and give a decree. First of all, any union that is existing, there have to be a document that backs it up. That everybody from every section of that union signed to. I want to ask this so-called journalists. I don't know whether it's the fura the Nunu is drinking or whether it's the too much of Amalayas eating that has affected his brain. Where is the document that said that every region in Nigeria agreed to be together? Because if there's a document, that's what they should have flaunted that document. At least that document would have eased the mind of all the old people agitating that they want to leave Nigeria. Then it will not be subjected, okay, do we renegotiate this document? Because before a people can stay together, they have to agree. But there's nothing. Nigeria is just a fake country existing in the air. There is no document binding it. Even the forceful construct has expired in 2014. They never visited it. But you have this stupid man coming here and saying, oh, am I still coming out?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, because the thing changed. So you have this man coming out saying that he come out and say, not even Nnamdi Kanu can come out, can from his own end do anything to destroy Nigeria. If Nigeria was a real country, there would be a document that would lead to the creation of a constitution. But you don't have none of those. It was never meant to be a country. So this man has no right to come out and say this rubbish because, number one, Nigeria is not a union. It is not. It's not even a state that is governed by a constitution. All the states you see in Nigeria today came as a result of military decree. Before a state is created, the people have to draw their borders and agree. But it is not like that in Nigeria. So until this idiot can show me that document that shows where every part of the zoo signed, carried out a plebiscite and agreed to be together, then he can come out and yap all this nonsense is yapping. But if he cannot provide it, then he should shut up his mouth. But me, I can provide you the first document of the 1940 amalgamation, what it says in it, why was that country created, and why you see the Fulanis are the one ruling today. Everything is in that document, and I can bring it out to you. It might be in old English letters, but when you read it intensively, you will understand. So for now, this idiot, if he's listening to this broadcast, I'm telling you, you have no right to yap this rubbish you're yapping out of your mouth until you can show me that document that the people of the zoo agreed to be together. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for that submission. So let's proceed now. I know Starman is eager to hear Jide's response. So without awaiting, without due await, let's go.
Yes, there are a lot of dimensions to it, but now this freedom can change the dynamics. I'm confident that it will change the dynamics. Those who opted to go with Simon Ekpa must have done that out of frustration, that no progress was being made in the desire to have him freed. I believe that his freedom will trigger so much joy, and a lot of the disparate groups will be forced to sheath their swords. Simon Ekpa is not based in Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu is here. So Nnamdi Kanu's presence here will make, if he's freed, will make a much bigger impact than someone so far away without a desire to come home, other than to be telling people to kill one another. So I don't want to believe that Simon Ekpa has assumed such a larger than life image now that he can actually see himself in the same league as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still a much bigger factor in the struggle for a better deal for the people of the Southeast than Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa is a product of the struggle, but Nnamdi Kanu initiated the struggle. So they are not in the same league, no matter how he feels. I am not convinced that they are in the same league.
Comment here.
Okay, before the reporter asks another question, anybody want to take a comment on what he just said, or we should proceed?
Yeah. Can I just say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
And this answers it all. If I am not doing something that is affecting you and pushing and sticking you like a pin in your butt, then you will not be talking about me. The reason why he's mentioning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is because what we are doing is shaking them. And as we have always repeated it, we are not going to take order from someone who is under duress. In as much as he's our leader, he's the one that awakened us. But in that place he is, we cannot trust whatever judgment he makes. So we that are the people outside that has listened to his word, pick up that ideology, will continue to do the things that will make you continue to shake. You thought when you kidnapped him, Garba Shehu came out and said, Biafra is dead. But today you can see that Biafra is even much more alive than you thought it was before. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Starman, should I proceed, or you have anything to say?
Yeah. At the end, he was struggling to mention Biafra. Yeah, he said that freeing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will lead to a better deal or something. Oh, no. Well, I can't remember the exact words he used, but yeah. He said something about a better deal for the people of the Southeast. Look, this guy, my nickname for him, I mean, if he's in the zoo, you know, he's got to have an animal nickname, and salamander keeps coming to my brain. This guy, he's, I was going to say something, but it just slipped my mind. Hey, my mind just went blank. But yeah, sorry. I just lost it. But yeah, if he comes back to me.
All right, maybe I can proceed. It might help remember.
Yeah. Proceed.
Positive Hub says, federal government is the cause of every form of insecurity that is happening in Nigeria today. Nelson Adife says, if the American are currently concerned about forceful extradition of Kanu, what would they say about him defaulting his shortly or his surety? What is he trying to say? When he failed to honor his return as agreed in court in the first instance. Idris Adigun says, BKO, do you think a political solution can still be reached vis-a-vis those arrested for the Yoruba Republic debacle in Ibadan? And last one, Banji Okuseto says, BKO shouldn't be too sure that Kanu now feels sober. He could equally be pretending so that he could be freed to refresh himself.
Yes. But you see, when you lose your freedom for one day, you know what it means. Kanu has lost his freedom for years now. You know, for a man who enjoys so much freedom, enjoy the good life, to be in the slammer for this long. I could not go wherever I wanted. He could not eat whatever I wanted. There is a way in which it breaks down a man. When they send people to prison, it is for a reason. It is to make them sober. Not many people come out of prison without being sober. So if you lose your freedom, you'll be craving to have that freedom back. And I think that the way he spoke, that lengthy interview in court, that unusual interview that I granted, the way he spoke, where he was even saying that nobody has the right to be involved in some kind of armed struggle against the Nigerian state. I listened to him again and again, and I asked myself, is this Kanu talking here? Because what he had done over the years amounted to what he was warning, that nobody has a right to do. Which means he has kind of turned a new leaf. Yes, there's no way of knowing how a man feels, because you have no key to the heart of a man. But I felt that what he said came straight from his heart. What he said showed that to an extent he is sober. He is no longer as aggressive as he used to be. He was quite calm as he was saying those things. And remember, before then, he had also revoked the sit-at-home order, which IPOB instituted. IPOB instituted it. IPOB again said, okay, this sit-at-home should be only on days when Nnamdi Kanu is brought to court. But the violent guys who hijacked the struggle continue to attack people, even on Mondays when Nnamdi Kanu is not brought to court. So Nnamdi Kanu used his own hand. In a handwritten note, he decided to put an end to the sit-at-home in any form. That is also symptomatic of a desire for peace, rather than go the way they had always been known. So, yes, I believe that you are right in saying that he may be pretending, but from the distance where I'm looking at him, the way I saw him speak that day, something tells me that he's becoming sober. And I had been observing him over some time. I've seen that he's these days less aggressive in the way he speaks. And I believe that being in detention for years, not having his way, he even pleaded that he should be allowed, he should be put in house arrest, which the Nigerian authorities have not agreed to. So I think there are some that is now more sober.
So now my question to y'all, but before we go to the question, I got to shout out to the viewers right here. We have 625 live viewers all over the different platforms. We thank you all for being here. Greetings to you all for being here. And now my question is, well, I know he lied. He lied when Nnamdi Kanu said nobody should pick up arms against the state and the court. He never said so. But that aside, do you think Nnamdi Kanu, do you agree with Jide or you disagree? If you want to join the conversation, we still have a couple of more minutes left. You can, the link is on the chat session, on Twitter, and on YouTube. So who's going to go first? Mazi, let me hear from you first regarding what you just heard from Jide.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, to you.
Oh, yeah. You see, I'm not surprised Jide is talking like this because he's working for the current president. Because we all know that this TV is owned by Tinubu. And you can see how he has come out here and twist everything our leader has said. First of all, if our leader is being so bad, he will not be in that prison. Because I'm sure the zoo and even Britain don't want the world to know what is going on. They will try as much as possible to put this thing in the hidden. But they have tried so much and they have come to realize that they cannot stop him. They cannot change his mind. They cannot get him to agree. That's why he's still there. So, Anjide, if you say that our leader is acting the way he's acting because he wants peace, and let me tell you something, our leader is acting that way. He is acting, and he is there because he has decided to continue to remain on his initial statement. Let my people go. And also, I want to tell you that if you find yourself in the situation that Biafrans have found themselves, the only way for us to have lasting peace is to prepare for war. And that is why we have picked up arms, and that is why the zoo is getting the message clearly. So all these things you are saying and you're yapping holds no water. Thank you.
Thank you. Starman, you see, GD is coming. Let me play a little bit of devil's advocate just to, since we don't have any other opposition on our panel, which would have been amazing if we had some people that actually support what GD is saying. But since we don't, Starman, I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate and say, do you think GD is saying what he's saying in order to soften the Nigerian government in support of release to Nnamdi Kanu, but just saying it in order to have his conversation, his words feel balanced? Stammer.
I think he's saying it just not to sound like, just not to sound vindictive, like, oh, Nnamdi must, stay there and serve his punishment. But I mean, he has already laid out his propaganda bombs with some of the statements he made earlier. So, anything he's saying at the tail end, it's just he's just trying to make sure he doesn't look, so I guess, he's just playing that propaganda game. He's trying to make sure to look like he's not taking sides. But we know that this guy, I've heard him several times say that Nnamdi Kanu should face trial. Nnamdi Kanu has to face trial. But Nnamdi Kanu has faced the trial now. Trial no hold Nnamdi Kanu. So he has to sound soft like this because he knows, he still can't be banging on about, if he comes out harder than this, it will look like he himself is literally saying, oh, if you free Nnamdi Kanu, Nigeria is going to break. And, him and his boss don't want that. Tinubu doesn't want Nigeria to break, at least until he has stolen back his, at least the one I know about, $200 million that he spent just to clean his image. All those people that were chasing him around for his report and what he did in Chicago.
And that's not the one he paid to Mahmoud for bribe. That's not the one he bribed all the delegates. That's not the one he bribed individuals. That's not the one they shared in polling unit. So by the time he finished with Nigeria.
And Buhari pulled a fast one on him by doing that stunt they used the Mefele to do to dry up the Naira supply.
Yeah.
So Tinubu was forced to release his own personal dollar.
Yeah.
Just to fund what he needed to fund for that election. So if you ask me to estimate, I'll say nothing more than a minimum. Let me even add plus the dollar plus Naira he would have spent. $500 million.
Or $1 billion. It should be more than $500 million. First of all, I heard he gave Mahmoud how much?
Right, exactly. $200 million to just media. Hi, no wonder people like Jide, look at his neck, look at his lips. You don't chop now. Of course, that's where the money went, to launder his image. So of course, no wonder he sounds the way he sounds.
Estama, you see another thing, and the next thing we're going to talk about is the the abomination and the atrocity that has been committed by our so-called elders. Do you believe with all this propaganda that Jide has spilled, he was given chieftaincy title by Ezeri?
You know, the history of most of those Ezes and this one and that one in Biafra land, Igwe this and that. Most of these people were the original warrant chiefs that were working for Britain, collecting tax. You know those taxes they were collecting that led to things like about women's riots, where they wanted to tax our women.
When you say these things to some people, it just feels like you're making some myths or mythical statement, but it's fact though.
Yeah. Those warrant chiefs. See, colonialism, waiting happen. Then come with gun, point for our forefathers, right? We're taking control of your land now, and there's nothing you can do. Some of them will try to rise up, boo, 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 then shoot them. Everybody else traumatized, chill. Now, by seizing control of your land, that means they've taken land, they've taken all the mines, and then to control the population, they have to impose tax and law, their law, British law or French law, whoever is doing the colonizing. So they impose tax on the population, back the tax up with law. Now, for the population to pay the tax, like in our own Biafra land, because of all the destabilization from Ekumeku to Aro, all our economies, plus slave trade before, all our economies were destroyed. I mean, even the refugee crisis from the slave trade alone, our economies were barely and then Britain just came, destroyed everything with that colonization, tax, law, then imposed their own currency. You now have to pay with their, I can't remember what they called, whatever British pound they were using, the British pound for Nigeria, they were using that then. You now have to pay the tax with that. And then the only way you can earn that is to go and get a job that they've created, which is either go and dig up coal, like in Enugu, or go and press palm oil. And to collect, to do all this administration for them, and then also to even collect the taxes, it wasn't the white British people that were even going to harass our people every day. Where's your tax? It was some of our Ndefu, the first ones. Oh, the white man's way is the best way. They went to go and get a job. They stay wearing them that short knicker, that khaki. Oh God, that khaki, and sometimes they give them that hat. Those were the original warrant chiefs.
We have like an hour to go, but an hour would fly by because there's another topic that I would like you and Mazi to answer on. But let's just I don't know if I should continue playing Jide because I'm really tired of listening to Jide, to be honest with you, because he's going to say the same thing. So let's just listen to the reaction of some Nigerians. Then I need to play something that was posted by the Prime Minister not too long ago because I really need you and Mazi to emphasize on it. So let's play this one.
And they are enemy. Two of them are enemies. So it's either one win or the other one lose. So now arresting Kanu is like federal government have won. But at the end of the day, there's a big problem. In my own opinion, arresting Kanu is not the solution. The solution is about us in Nigeria here. There is no security and there is no unemployment. People are suffering. You are arresting Kanu. Arresting Kanu for which reason? Arresting Kanu is not the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria is security, number one. Everywhere. See, yesterday now the lawmaker have been kidnapped, killed, attack. Every day, attack. Now you're not arresting Kanu. What is the meaning of arresting Kanu? You want to put fuel on fire. You want to increase the tempo, the tension on land. So please, federal government should think about it and rethink and leave him, let him go in peace and let Nigeria be in peace. Don't let Nigeria be accused of treason. Accused of treason. What is treason? Treason is a big language now. I never said anything treason in Kanu. What I say in Kanu is fighting for his own people. He's fighting for the freedom of his own people. So a freedom fighter is not a treason. Treason is somebody that plan coup or want to overthrow a government. So in the language of treason, I don't buy that language. He's a freedom fighter. I want a freedom for his people. So arresting him is not the solution. It will bring more problem and more tension to the federal government and to the people of Nigeria.
My people, they talk one parable. If you carry another person dead body, it will be like saying a firewood you carry. You understand my parable? If you carry another person dead body, it will be like saying another firewood you carry. But for God to touch you, now you gonna say, now dead body you carry. You see, they arrest Kanu. Some people are jubilating, happy they have arrested Kanu. Okay, Kanu is not a terrorist. Kanu is not a criminal. It's not an armed robbery. You see, Kanu is a too much millionaire man. He's a too much money man. Kanu can sleep alone without intercepting for anybody. Kanu is not a hungry man. He's a rich man. But he saw the things happening in his country and he wasn't impressed. In a country, somebody cannot feed 3 square meal a day. In a country, people are drinking garri to sleep while others are eating, wasting food, giving dog food to eat, where human beings cannot eat. In a country that is like you have no future. You eat what you see, you don't eat what is hungry you. In a country, everybody is stagnated. People don't know what to do. In a country, we are humiliated, we are intimidated. In a country, nobody can say truth. If you say truth, you kill you. If you say lie, you live. That's the country of Nigeria. Because as it is now, Kanu himself now, because a lot of people have been calling, Kanu were only fighting for the sake of masses, because of the condition of Nigeria. People are living in a country. In this bush, people cannot go farm. In a city, it cannot be comfortable. Killing everywhere. I think we need to find somewhere. If the country cannot manage by one person, then we need to divide, let everyone manage their resources and know how to secure their land. Even the village you come from, I come from, we have people that died in the village. Not talk of the whole country. Every day killing everywhere. So where this man is fighting for people to divide, Nigerians to go, so that everybody can manage their resources. And since the government refused to do the restructuring, so let everyone manage their own resources.
So his arrest is illegal.
To me, the arrest is not good for me. It's an illegal. Are you hearing me? It's not Kanu is not the problem of Nigeria. Nigeria should look for the problem. Do you know the problem of Nigeria? Number one, insecurity. Whereby there's insecurity in a country, or nothing will invest, nothing will move on. They should go to bush, kill flanes that causing fears, that make it difficult for people. Not I'm still saying it. In which is Kanu is a Yoruba man, they will not arrest him. In which is an Hausa man, they will not arrest him.
Sunday Igboho, they will not arrest him.
No, they should go arrest Sunday Igboho now. Sunday Igboho, is it fly out? Is it in Kenya? Sunday Igboho, is it in London? Is it in UK? Is in London? They should go arrest him. They should stop this tribalistic and this kind of game they are playing. Are you hearing me? So they should leave Kanu. Kanu is not the problem of the country. Are you hearing me? My brother, I'm speaking to you now. If government can restructure it, are you hearing me? You see that Igbos, Yorubas, and Hausa will become one mother, one father. Are you hearing me? So they should forget about Kanu. Kanu is looking about Biafra because of the difficulty of the nation, the suffering of the people. So if they can go back and sit down, what I'm telling you, if you can interview Kanu, Kanu will tell them the reason why I want to become a Biafra, I want to divide, because the suffering is too much. So they should go back and restructure. When they restructure, Nigerians become one mother and one father. That is all, my brother.
I don't care. I really don't.
You have an issue that most people have been talking about for the past 2 days.
There's a lot more going on in Nigeria that we should care about, other than Nnamdi Kanu. It's not my problem right now. Like dollar devaluation, like everything being costly and being expensive rather. We are newspaper stand. How much is newspaper? 200. Maybe next week it start being 300. Who knows? Everything keeps rising. So I just don't care about Nnamdi Kanu.
I'm surprised, like, you don't care about Nnamdi Kanu because everybody's talking about Nnamdi Kanu.
I'm not everybody. I'm Funke.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lucky, good morning, Mr. Lucky.
Good morning. Thank you, my brother.
Your
God bless
position on the UK position on Nnamdi Kanu, how do you look at it?
you. See, some of these white people, me, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. Well, if they have given their verdict and said our government should explain how did they arrest Nnamdi Kanu, and I believe government should explain. Two, the UK denied that Kanu was not arrested in London, Abi, and they are not aware. So I think the federal government should explain. I know federal government is among of these Interpol's organization, but you know, as I said yesterday, I'm so ashamed. And again, I don't expect Nnamdi Kanu should be just catch like a rat like that. Somebody who traveled to Israel, and Israel blood, a British blood. If the British is serious and is a citizen of British, I believe the language should be, the British should speak a language that our government should understand. That Kanu should be repatriated to London immediately there.
I believe the language should be, the British should speak a language.
All right. Biafrans, I think we try. We'll listen to the video from beginning to the end. All the remaining parts, we have watched them before. Now, I want to make we understand something. I see video today. VOB. Oh, Odumegu, my Bishop of the Most High brother, how you there? They interviewed Gumi today. VOB about Rufai Oseni. That Rufai Oseni radio VOB FM interviewed the what is it? Sheigumi. You mean on where? On space now? I don't know. Well, how are they?